Yours and mine. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. The Naturewood team takes great pride and significant effort to offer Northern California families a vast selection of home furnishings, most of which are made right here in this country. The kitchen table, which we purchased so many years ago, speaks to the enduring quality of the Naturewood product lines. We treasure memories made seated around that table with family and friends for birthday celebrations, school projects, and many late-night meals when the day just got away from us. Naturewood has provided thousands with home furnishings that not only last for generations, but also lead to everlasting memories of cherished times. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings now during their 77th anniversary sale and get started making your own brand of memories. Meet the Keys family at Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports, 1140. Your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
Yes. On a Monday, Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. And oh my goodness, what a Monday it will be. So much. We got a sports equinox, by the way. Every major sport is in action. You got the NBA. No Kings. I was going to say thankfully, but I decided not to say it. No Kings. You got the World Series. You got Kyle's team, the Chiefs, taking on Mariota's Commanders. Maybe a shady good game, or it'll be another blowout. We called it on Friday. How many games would make it to the witching hour on NFL Red Zone? And I believe there was only about 2 or 3 games. Another rough week of NFL football. And if you're prop talking, that's a disaster. It's a complete disaster. So we will break down all the good, all the bad, all the openings in college football. If you have any type of experience in college football, now is your time. Lane Kiffin, is there a better person to be in sports right now, specifically college sports, than Lane Kiffin? I mean, let the bidding commence. There are a couple guys I also saw. Tulane's head coach, the bidding is going to be out there for him. So Lane Kiffin going to make his next move his best move. And only somebody like Lane can make Ole Miss look like a stepstone, right? Only Lane Kiffin, guys like Lane Kiffin can do that. If I'm Saban, Nick Saban, he looks very comfortable College Game Day. I watch College Game Day religiously, man. I love it. And I don't think Nick Saban is going to make a return. You got NIL, and I appreciated Nick Saban this weekend saying that players should be paid, but there's a lot that comes with it. So a ton to get into. The World Series is back tonight. You head to Los Angeles, and the main goal, if you are the Blue Jays, since you did win one, is to find a way to get back to the 6. Find a way to get back to Toronto. That's the only thing you're trying to do, right? Which is crazy because you have a better record than this team. But we've seen it before in other sports. Home court, home field doesn't really mean anything, especially when you're facing a team like the Dodgers. So you got one. That is the only situation that we've seen lately, at least, where everybody was saying, at least they got one, and they have home field advantage. And we're saying the Blue Jays, at least they got one. That's how ridiculous this Dodgers team is. Of course, they couldn't touch Yamamoto, complete game. We haven't seen anything like it. They head back to L.A., where the fans will be there probably in the 5th inning, even though it's a World Series. And the number one hope for the Blue Jays is to get one. Just get one and find your way back to Toronto. So we are, and of course, the Niners. Everybody is freaking out because the Niners lost. I will do the opposite of what we're about to do with the Kings here. As far as the Niners are concerned, I know they lost a couple weeks ago. It more so felt like the Texans were due. The Texans were a bit on life support, and they were struggling. A bunch of wide receivers. Kyle texted me, said, Allen, all those wide receivers you were talking trash about, they all went off against the Niners. The Texans were due for a random game where they just ball out. And I did think about this after we got on air, or after we got off air. I'm not going to pretend like I called this or whatever, because hindsight's 2020. But once you have a conversation and once you think it through and you see the Texans again, they were struggling, man. That was a terrible showing. They lose Nico Collins to a concussion. They were struggling. Then on the other side of it, the Niners are always missing guys. They had basically outkicked their coverage the week before, and then they had that 10 a.m. start, the dreaded 10 a.m. start. So if you saw the writings on the wall, and the Texans, the only reason they were in that game, what was it, on Monday, was because of their defense. So we knew that their defense was going to come to play. You put all that into a pile, and maybe that finally silences the Brock Purdy, Mac Jones thing, even though I'm not really putting it on Mac Jones. It was just a bad game all around. The Texans just needed it, man. The Niners, again, they've outkicked their coverage all season long, battling through these injuries. So this was, to me, more about the Texans. You had the situation with the interception from Diamondor Lenore, could have got out of bounds, decided to score. To me, and they still had a chance, the Niners did. All that went wrong, all those injuries, and I know the Texans are injured too, and they still had a chance at the very end. It wasn't a blowout by any stretch of the imagination. The Texans did have control majority of the game, but this was more about, if you were a Niner fan out there, I wouldn't be too downtrodden. The reality is the Niners are missing guys, and the Texans, they needed it. They had played pretty poorly as of late. They were trying to figure some things out. I think they saw what happened once Nico Collins was injured. And, of course, if you're a Dalton Schultz guy, that was not the day. National Tight End Day, a very different day than last season. They did get their scoring, and George Kittle, that was probably the most easy cheese on the planet, a George Kittle touchdown. But guys like Dalton Schultz and Ferguson, two of the most highly used tight ends in the league, both of them did absolutely nothing. So tight end day, the tight ends did get going, but not some of the more typical guys that we saw. So crazy NFL Sunday, or not even crazy, just kind of right? Just kind of okay, the Niners lost, they were probably due. The Texans won, they were probably due. And then you have the Colts that are probably going to the AFC Championship. Then you have a team in the Colts that are just absolutely rolling. Kirk Cousins, I was a bit surprised at how bad Kirk Cousins looked. I know we do this thing where, hey, Kirk Cousins is like a video game. He's just going to come in and be able to throw to everyone. No Drake London, but besides that, he still didn't look great. And the Dolphins, again, writing on the wall, right? Dolphins have played terribly. Tua has said a lot of random stuff that people didn't like. And they're going up against a Falcons team with Kirk Cousins, no Michael Penix, no Drake London. But the Dolphins had played so poorly, you just didn't know what was going to happen. And similar to the Texans, even though the Texans haven't been as volatile as the Dolphins, the Dolphins with their backs up against the wall, they were able to get a W. So just kind of an weekend, a couple crazy scores, I'll say, but based on how the actual games happened, nothing too insane to report back. A couple surprises, but all those surprises was based on, hey, something being due. So with all that being said, and you can tell I'm kind of trying to avoid it here, but I can't avoid it any longer. We have two games to get through, and I guess that's the call, get through with the Sacramento Kings. Because you have a team that beat the Jazz, and, you know, they beat the beefy, we have the meats drop, Kyle. That's literally for the Jazz. That's literally for the Jazz at this point. Thank you. The meats. Because everybody there was 6'8" and up. And the Kings, they were able to power through. It took a Domantas Sabonis put back to beat the Jazz. The Jazz did not play poorly. I don't think they played great, but they didn't play poorly. Markkanen went off, and a couple of their guys did find their spots. Walker Kessler had an awful game. He was, dang near unplayable. So the Kings found their spots, and they win the home opener. And you start thinking, okay, then the scariest news you could ever get. Not an injury for the Kings. Not an injury for the Kings, mind you. You lose Nick Clifford, by the way. But not an injury for the Kings, but an injury for the Lakers. And it was, I don't know, sometime yesterday before the game kicked off, or I should say tipped off, and you get the news from a couple different outlets, and it says, and Shams even was in on it because it's a big name, Luka is out. And once Luka was out, I knew this is the only team in the history of sports where the worse a team gets, the more worried you are about what they're going to do. Once the report came out that Luka was out, it's kind of an inside joke, but it's reality. And all of us joked together, the Kings are going to lose that game. No LeBron, no Luka, somebody's going for 50. And maybe it's on us, Sacramento. Maybe we need to change the way we think, even though we're scorned from this same thing happening. Because we all saw the writing on the wall. And one quarter happened. He had what? 10 after the first? One quarter happened. The second quarter happened. The third quarter happened. And next thing you know, as expected, who would we find on the list? But Austin Reaves' career high. Maybe we need to stop joking about it, even though we joke about it because it's been the thing. But we all saw it coming, and that's exactly what happened. You know who didn't see it coming? The Kings. You know who didn't see it coming? The Kings coaching staff. I'll tell you this much, and I know we're not going to talk a lot about the previous regime that much, but at least Mike Brown would have spammed a double team so much in the second quarter that Rui Hachimura would have been the one to go off for 50. You can let Rui go off for 50. You can let, who else is there? Gabe Vincent, homecoming. You can let him go off for 30. You can let Dalton Connect or Jake LaRavia or Marcus Smart. You can let one of them go off for 50. I'm sorry. Free throws are free throws. That's going to be the phrase of the day or the two words of the day. Free throws. And yeah, there were some bad calls. We all know that Austin Reaves is a grifter. He's always been a free throw merchant. You got to know that, and you have to find a way to adjust to it. That was bad. The lack of adjustments throughout that game, honestly, it showed because they're not young, right? But it showed the newness, if you will, of that coaching staff. And I get it. You're missing some guy. You're missing Neek. But, Keon, this is your night. I'm going to be honest with you. We're going to do the pie chart later. But, Keon, this is your night. That is a point guard. This is what you're supposed to do. Kyle and I were going back and forth. Okay, well, he was in foul trouble. Okay, well, whose fault is it that he was in foul trouble? Depends on who you ask. Domantas Sabonis can't stay on the court. We got to see Dylan Cardwell, right? You got two guys. You barely have anybody over 6'7", and two of the guys over 6'7" are officially unplayable. If Drew Eubanks checks into another game, and we were getting on Russell Westbrook for it, who played great, by the way. If Drew Eubanks checks into another game and takes a shot under a minute into checking in, I'm going to lose my top. Just like Mike Brown said, I'm going to lose it. You got to know your role, brother. What the hell are you doing? Unplayable. Dario Saric, we didn't know why he wasn't playing in Denver. Think we got a better understanding of it now. So you're undersized. Then the guys that aren't undersized are unplayable. So you got Dylan Cardwell getting thrown into the pool, and he's doing his darndest to hang around. You're facing DeAndre Ayton, who collectively has some of the worst PR in the league. This should have been a W. So we've had 3 games. First game, oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, we blew a 20-point lead and no Jalen Green, but all right, let's go have a chat. Let's go have a chat after the practice. You come back after the chat, you beat the worst team in the West, barely. If it wasn't for a putback, what, they would have went to overtime, yeah? Or they were down one.
No, they were down one. They would have lost.
They were down one. Then Sabonis smokes the free throw. They could have lost that game. If the Jazz had anybody that would be on anyone else's NBA roster outside of Markkanen, Kessler, a couple guys, I'm being a little over the top now. But they win that game, barely. And oh my goodness, they locked it down. Well, sure, but you're running out 4 guards in Sabonis. There's going to be a time limit on doing that. 4 guards, but none of them guard Austin Reaves, by the way. So we got Westbrook, defensive monster. We got Dennis Schroeder, defensive monster.
I mean, he was guarding Reaves at the end.
We got Keon, defensive monster. We got 3 of them. They even had to check in Devin Carter. That's how bad it was. And you let Austin Reaves go off for 51. So we can have a conversation about the free throws. That's fine. There were some bad calls, don't get me wrong. But they grift. That's what Austin Reaves do. We got to play the song, Kyle, coming back from the break. I whip my head back and forth. Willow Smith. That's always been Austin Reaves. That's why you have a scouting report. So you get started and you're trying to figure out, all right, what are the Lakers trying to do? Then I got to listen to Dennis Schroeder during the postgame say, and we'll play the sound for you. Then I got to listen to Dennis Schroeder say they had a great game plan. And sometimes, teams just play well, right? That's what he said. I got it for you. They had a hell of a game plan. They played well, and sometimes it be like that. That's an actual quote, by the way. They had a hell of a game plan. They played well, and sometimes it be like that. What was the game plan? Give the ball to Austin Reaves and get the hell out the way. Because clearly, how do you not blitz? And you know what? I do wonder if there is a level of, hey, the previous regime, they like to blitz all the time. And we don't want to do that. But sometimes you got to take your medicine. Get the ball out of his hands. We've talked about the types of guards that Keon can struggle with. Those more shifty or grifty guys. He struggles with Jalen Brunson. Steph Curry, I know everybody can't stand him out here. Steph is not a grifter. Steph likes to get to his spots. Yeah, he'll do some stuff after the three-point line, but he's not grifting like that. Keon plays him well. But these shifty guards, Keon struggles. So he finds himself into foul trouble, right? You have a Dennis Schroeder who was on the opposite end trying to stay out of foul trouble, so he's barely contested. I saw a clip of one of the threes. Dennis Schroeder didn't even jump with Austin Reaves, and I get it. That's the balance between not getting caught in the grift act, in the foul merchant act, but also you got to contest. So I'm looking around, and we're literally going to sit here and say, well, man, they didn't have Nick Clifford, who's on his 3rd NBA game. So we can do the free throw thing. It was ridiculous, but I've always been on the Lakers for being free throw merchants. I've always been on it. And maybe the Kings win I don't know how many you want to take away, but when you got your hand in the cookie jar, you're going to get caught. Then conversely, I think the other conversation to have is as far as the Kings not getting free throws and how that looked on their end. Who on the Kings is driving to the basket, though? Tell me
Westbrook.
Westbrook, yeah. Westbrook. And by the way, the free throws that the Kings did make, they still shot it at 66%, by the way. So the free throw, they only had 18. They only made 12.
There were a couple of those where Westbrook stepped up. I'm like, gonna miss it.
Yeah, they only made 12. But Domantas Sabonis, who, like I said, we're going to talk about Domantas Sabonis because I don't know where he fits in this offense right now. DeMar DeRozan, he doesn't drive. Zach LaVine can drive. He had 4 free throws. Dennis Schroeder, maybe they missed some calls. He only had 1 free throw. Keon took 2. Westbrook had 6. He was 2 of 6. Malik, he was 2 of 2. Malik has been balling. Malik has been incredible. The guy that you were trying to get up out of here has been balling. Okay? So Malik and Zach LaVine, they've been doing all they can do. Malik was a +7 last night. 24 minutes. So Malik, I don't know where this thing is going to go, but Malik is making himself look dang good to somebody. I don't know who, but to somebody. So, and I was talking to our fearless leader, Jose, about this as well as Kyle, because as we break down the season, I know we're going to get texts. There's probably, I haven't checked the text line yet, 916-339-1140. I'm sure there's probably 10 texts just in my initial soliloquy right here. 10 texts saying, Allen, we know they stink. We're getting ready to tank, and we'll run Tankathon. And by the way, all three of them. Just give me three. Cam Boozer, okay?
Boozer has some space, going to fire a three.
Please. Please.
His second of the game.
Atabanza, okay? Darren Peterson.
20 points in the first half.
Give me one. That's a sidebar. But I don't want to spend too much time, and it reminds me of the A's conversation. Because the A's conversation, we could talk for hours about how the A's, before they did the Sacramento jersey thing, how the A's left Oakland, how the A's have been treating Sacramento. But I said, you know what? We can have those conversations. We opened up the phone lines, and we had very in-depth conversations. And I want to thank Sacramentans. I want to thank people from the Bay, anybody that called in to have those conversations. But I also want to talk about the actual baseball in that regard. I want to talk about Jacob Wilson. I want to talk about how Nick Kurtz Wally pipped the Rookie of the Year, right? We don't know yet, but he did win that fake award.
He won the fake Sporting News one.
And he'll probably win the real one. I want to talk about T-Law or Lawrence Butler. I want to talk about those guys. I want to talk about the baseball of it. Severino falling over.
By the way, he's probably coming back next year.
I want to talk about that stuff. I got to separate it from time to time. And that's what I want to do with the Kings. I'm not right now going to spend 4 hours saying how the Kings should tank. Because to me, that's in a separate category. To me, I think that is understood in a way. That this team is not a team that's going to win a championship. Right? So I'm going to go ahead and separate that. As my mother always told me, there's a time and a place. And 3 games into the season, this is not the time nor place right now. It is understood that that's how a lot of you feel. And it is understood that to a certain degree, that's how I feel when I watch these three boys play in the college ranks right now. But separately right now, let's talk about the basketball. Because they told us that based on how they went about this business, whether this was, obviously Scott Perry came into these contracts, but they've tried to tell us, these guys are going to make it work. These guys are going to compete. Okay. So because they're not telling us if they wanted to run Keon for 40 minutes and Nick Clifford for 40 minutes and obviously just Sabonis and a bunch of young guns, then we would look at it a different way. But they are trying to tell us, no, Dennis Schroeder, 3 years, 15 a year. No, we got that. No, we can surprise some people. We need Westbrook. Now we got 2 ball handlers. Okay. So I am going to then evaluate this team based on what they are telling us. And they have told us we're trying to make something happen this season. And it's only 3 games in. But now you're going to have to beat the big boys. Now you're going to have to beat some real teams. I don't know if the Kings ended up being favored last night with no Luka. I would assume they were.
I saw 2.5.
Yeah, I would assume they were. So 3 games the Kings were favored in, they won 1. Okay? Barely, by the way. They won 1. I don't know, and we'll take a look, maybe when they get to Chicago, but I don't know when they're going to be favored again. So now you're going to have to win some games that you are not necessarily slated to win. That's it. So we can have a conversation about the free throws, but I would also say go back and watch the grifting, right? Because sometimes it's ridiculous. And here's the other part of it. And I'll end it with this, and it's been 30 minutes straight. Here's the only other thing I'll say, because we do have Chrissy's cuts and Doug Chrissy just saying it's wild. If it's that egregious, you know what was weird to me? It felt like nobody thought it was as egregious in the moment. That's why I'm giving it cause to pause. Because if it came off as that egregious in the moment, Doug Chrissy should have gotten thrown out of that game. Yeah, I'm going to do the thing. If it was that egregious, it felt like it felt like the Kings collectively didn't realize how ridiculous it was until the end. And you know what that tells me? It didn't feel that ridiculous in the moment because they kind of were fouling. I don't know how many you remove, but this is a thing with the Lakers. So to me, you got 8,000 vets on the team. Doug Christie's the defensive guy. Somebody there has to say, we got to find a way to make sure this doesn't happen. And conversely, let's at least give ourselves a chance and get to the line ourselves. But you want to chuck up threes? Okay, that's cool. This is the same argument we've had with the Lakers before. You know what I mean? That's just what the Lakers took 25 threes. The Kings took 43, and they shot it at 41%, 41.9 actually. So you took care of business there. They were ridiculous free throws. I get it. And I don't know if they're going to put anything, you can send something to the league office. Go ahead. But it felt in the moment as if this is what the Lakers do. They grift. That's what they've always done. To me, if you know what somebody's trying to do, you got to have a game plan, specifically when there's one guy. And if you think it's that egregious, somebody should have got kicked out. I'm not saying that it wasn't egregious. I'm saying somebody should have got kicked out. All right, let's get to the other side. The phone lines are lighting up, so we want to open them up for you early today because I know a lot of people have a lot to say. I'm going to take a look at the text line. I'm almost afraid to do it, but I'm going to do it for y'all. And, of course, shout out to the Sac Chat, our YouTube, growing every single day. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, max out your savings. The more you buy, the more you save on beds, bases, and more. Plus, get free home delivery on any smart bed with base. Limited time. Check it out at a Sleep Number store near you or at sleepnumber.com today.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Charlie's battery is struggling to start. Not ideal before the tailgate, so he goes to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where friendly AutoZoner tests his battery for free. Looks like he needs a new one, so he gets the Duralast battery.
Have fun and stay warm.
And he makes it to the tailgate early enough to get his favorite spot. Free battery testing and charging. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heat and Air. Right now, breaking news, they're upgrading their offering to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy Home Pros. You hear me talk about them as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement, and now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free, and they'll give you a second opinion and almost certainly save you money. Oh, but wait, there's more. With winter coming up, how about a free furnace special? With full system installation, you're getting a free furnace, not a discounted furnace, a free furnace, and up to $4,000 in rebates while that funding lasts. So get there right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
When I was a kid, I remember my dad, a lineman, leaving in the middle of the night. Families were depending on him to get their power back on to keep them safe and warm. Watching him taught me that this work isn't just about wires and circuits. It's about people and the trust they place in us when the lights go out. That's why I started Maverick Electric Heating and Air, to carry on that same promise of showing up, doing it right, and protecting families when they need us most. Visit callamaverick.com.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Willow Smith, a.k.a. Austin Reaves.
God, I haven't thought about this song in so many years.
I whipped my head back and forth. That's what he was doing. You know that's what he's doing. You gotta find a way to power through. But I get it. It was egregious. Somebody said what was interesting is if you take away the Austin Reaves free throw specifically, it's not as ridiculous. It's not as egregious. Meaning if you did decide to get the ball out of his hands, to blitz him, whatever it is, clearly, you know what it is? With the World Series going on today, Sports Equinox, all the sports that you need are all going off tonight. NHL, Dave was talking about NHL in the crosstalk. NHL, MLB, NFL, NBA. It's the equivalent of, and I know the ABS system is coming next season, but it's the equivalent of the ump that has a pitch he continues to call, and it's maybe slightly out the zone. When they show the K zone, it's out the zone. It's up, it's out, but the pitcher notices that the ump keeps calling it, so he just keeps hitting the same spot over and over. And the other team can complain about it because technically it isn't a strike, but the ump is calling it that day. So make an adjustment. And you either make an adjustment, you get a coach toss if you want. You make an adjustment, you say, all right, I got to swing at that today. Or you continue to watch it and complain, and you lose the game. It's literally the same thing. Literally the same thing. It was egregious. Don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is it wasn't, the other thing too, it wasn't like it came out of nowhere. It was egregious the whole time. That's why I'm using this baseball analogy. So you knew what you were up against. And I'm sure Doug had some conversations with the refs, don't get me wrong. But you knew what you were up against. So it wasn't as if there was this random explosion in the second half off of some adjustments and you didn't have time to adjust to the adjustment. They didn't change their game plan, the Lakers did. They actually got less from the others in the second half. It is just astounding to me we didn't see. And Kyle, I had to dip out about around halftime, so I was listening in the car, but that little interim, let me know if I missed a blitz. Let me know if I missed a double, because I did not see one.
Okay, so there was a sequence in the fourth quarter where the Lakers scored on 4 consecutive possessions, and I was laughing because it was like, one, they blitz Austin Reaves, and then he just
Okay, so they did.
Well, they did it once, and he just threw it to Hachimura. Hachimura threw it to Ayton dunked it.
Right,
like
the tic-tac-toe,
broke the double team easily. Then they had Westbrook guard Reaves, and Reaves hit a bucket. Then they had DeRozan guarding Reaves.
I saw, yes.
And Reaves, I think he gave the ball up, but they scored.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had Schroeder guarding Reaves, and that was when he hit that three-pointer.
That's when
led
Schroeder
to
just
timeout.
wasn't contesting.
Yeah.
He didn't want to foul. He didn't want to foul.
Yeah, exactly. So they had 4 different plays, 4 different people guarding Reaves, or at least 4 different strategies because they doubled on one.
Yeah.
And the Lakers scored on 4 consecutive baskets. And that was when Doug finally had to call the timeout. And I was like, that is unbelievable that Austin Reaves is looking like prime Steph Curry, and they just have no answer.
Look, and that's a good call, Kyle, because they did try different things, just nothing worked. I just wouldn't have given up. And I know we've seen teams, including the Kings, get burned on the blitz before. I would have just liked to continue to dare it. Again, you have a coaching staff. Hey, let's figure out how to block the tic-tac-toe. Here's my thing. Jared Vanderbilt is on the floor. He can't shoot. He can't shoot. So find a way, whoever is helping on Vanderbilt, that's the guy that can come help, right? They did not have 4 other buckets out there. So you should have been able to pull it off. By the way, that last play when the Kings, got it to down 3 in the push off from Austin Reaves. I know, look, the two things can be true. I know people don't like it, but two things can be true. Austin Reaves pushed off, number one. Okay? And maybe they felt like, look, after everything you've done to us tonight, right? If you're the Kings talking to the refs, give us this push-off call and just, because it was a push-off, give us this push-off call and just give us a chance. That's number one. Number two, Dennis Schroeder cannot try to, emphasize that call and just take himself out of the play. You can't fall, right? You can maybe wave your hands or whatever, because if you don't, it's a gamble. And Dennis Schroeder has done this for years, where he is very Marcus Smart-esque. And sometimes they get the call. Sometimes they look ridiculous, as Marcus Smart did, and you give up a wide open 3 or a wide open shot, whatever it is. Austin Reaves pushed off. You can't go flying like a slip and slide and take yourself out the play. You can't, because if they don't give you the call, you're cooked. And that's exactly what happened.
So first of all, our guy Tony Ray Harvey is saying you vanished into the night in the middle of the Kings game. Just one moment you were there and one moment you were gone.
Well, I didn't say goodbye. I had to go. Yeah. I had to go. A friend was in town, so I had to say hello, and then I had to dip.
Irish goodbye'd it.
Yeah.
Anyways, so to your point, though, about the flopping and the defense thing, like, it happens pretty routinely in these NBA games where you see a guy go down or at a little chicken wing. It happened in the finals last year. Shea hit Nickeil Alexander-Walker with the chicken wing and hit the basket. So little things like that, you can't call all of them. So that one just happened to not get called.
Especially at the end of the game.
Yeah, especially.
That stuff never gets called. And you just, again, if Dennis Schroeder, if he wants to, kind of whip his head back, fine, but you fall and you completely take yourself out of the play.
Yeah, I mean, this is just one part of the whole night, right? Because as Reaves kept, this has happening in the third quarter too, but as Reaves kept hitting shots, it was just like, wow, this defense is really bad, because I know that's Austin Reaves. And Austin Reaves is a great player in the same way that, like, Tyler Hero is, like, the top 1% of 1% of basketball players. But relative to the NBA game, Austin Reaves should not be beating double teams and hitting step-through three-pointers in a game where Austin Reaves is the focal point.
But they didn't even make him. But I would have ran the double. I would have said, hey, guys, if it gets bad again, we're going to run this double. And I understand guys like, and I'm putting Austin Reaves into the same conversation as Luka, but guys like that, Shea, Luka, guys that see doubles a lot, they're very good. Jokic, very good. And Chris Watkins, it was his birthday yesterday. Happy belated C-Wizzle. Chris has said, Allen, you got to be careful with the blitzes because these guys are smart and they know how to pass out of it. I get all that. But Austin Reaves is not them. And there is a level of just get it out of if you get it out of his hands quickly before they can set up. I think the other thing too, the whole blitzing thing, you got to just commit. You kind of doing the double dutch. Should I go? That gives the other Laker or whoever opposing player time to say, okay, when he goes, we're going to run the tic-tac-toe, right? If you're just blitzing, just get it out of his hands. And they did not do a good job of that. 916-339-1140. Let's get to some of these phone calls. Phone lines open all day. Let's get to Ashley, who wants to be part of the conversation. What's up, Ashley? What you got for us?
So I'm just wondering, and I know we're not there yet. It's a little early, but game after game, we're seeing Russell Westbrook improve on what he's done from the last game. And I don't know how much of that is just he's getting more comfortable. He's starting to be here a little bit longer. But what would it take for Russell Westbrook to make things a little bit uncomfortable and start having a discussion about maybe starting him?
Yeah, I had a feeling that was coming, Ashley, and it's a great call. I don't know if that's – my initial reaction to that question is what would that help right now? He's still getting healthy minutes, and we're going to go over the stat sheets, of course, and Westbrook got he played 27 minutes. So not to do it's not who starts, it's who finishes thing, but I'm kind of going to do it. I'm just not sure he needs to. I guess in this situation, he'd be starting over Keon. I still feel like Westbrook in a bottle is better than, you know when you have two sides to the season shaker and one side is wide open and the other has the little holes to make sure, and then sometimes you accidentally open it on the big side and then you mess up everything you were cooking. That could be Russell Westbrook. So right now, to me, he got more minutes. He got way more minutes than Keon. Keon got 18. Some of it he fouled out, but Keon got 18 minutes. Westbrook got 27. So I'm still liking Westbrook with the shaker on the little hold side, not wide open. So I don't think that Westbrook needs to start right now, but you're right. A couple more losses and anything can change. They're already relying way too much on him. 6 assists, and it was a great game. And people were making fun of me. If you listened on Friday, I was getting roasted by some unnamed media members about my what can Russell Westbrook do that Devin Carter can't. So we were having some fun with that on Friday when all the vibes were high because the Jazz won. But, yeah, Russell Westbrook has been great. And relying on him as much as you are, he's 6 rebounds, 6 assists, only had 2 turnovers to his 6 assists too. So, I mean, that might be the worst part of this. Wasting, especially against a team Russell Westbrook clearly despises and hates. You wasted a Russell Westbrook masterclass, and I don't know how many you're going to get. He goes 4 for 6 from three-point range. You shoot 41.9%, and you lose by 7. You don't even lose in overtime, and obviously that's only part of the story, but you let the Lakers shoot 32% from 3. They only took 25 because they were getting to the hole and they were getting foul calls. You let a Russell Westbrook masterclass go to waste. And I just don't think, Ashley, that's going to be the norm with Westbrook. I mean, I hope, but I don't think we're going to see that every single day. That version of him should start. I don't know how often we're going to see it. Let's get to TC before we get to the other side. What's up, TC? What you got for us?
Allen, what's up, man?
Hey, man, it's just a Monday. Enjoying myself. What you got, man?
It is a Monday, and I'm not even frustrated. What I am frustrated is how we just sat back and let him get to 50. I get Doug, but the only thing I can take from this situation, give me a minute, is Doug is want the guys to learn. I know they're veterans, but hey, man, I'm not gonna call it time. I'm gonna let you guys go through this. If you're gonna let this guy drop a 70 ball on your head without blitzing or somebody trying to lock up, then I'm gonna let y'all go through it. That way we can look at this in film, and I can point back and say, hey, this is a no-no. I know they have the free throw discrepancy, but that has nothing to do with that guy's 50 ball.
Yeah. Thanks for the call, TC. You got to do something. You got to do something. All right. What we got to do is get to the other side. And when we return, we got the box score. We also have Christy's Cuts. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that, and third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your priceless vinyl collection. Sure, you sleep on a futon because the money most people would have spent on a bed you spent on more records. But forget the fact that you can stream just about any song ever created for a few dollars a month. No, you need to listen to music in the most difficult way possible. So go ahead and get Progressive so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the...
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your...
windshield wipers. eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying... just beautiful...
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay, things people love.
The holidays can be a time of increased stress for those struggling with opioid or stimulant addiction. They can also be a time for pause, reflection, opportunity, and new beginnings. This holiday season, choose treatment and recovery. Embrace the company of family and friends and create special moments. Find a proven opioid or stimulant addiction treatment provider near you at choosechangeca.org.
Ready to pregame for your next big arena event? Head to Beach Hut Deli, a Sacramento tradition for over 40 years where aloha is served daily. Located just steps from the arena, whether it's game day or a concert night, it's the perfect spot to gather with friends and enjoy amazing sandwiches. Planning a bigger get-together? Beach Hut Deli offers endless catering options to bring those fresh, delicious flavors to your next party or event. Beach Hut Deli. Good vibes, great food, and epic times await.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
The greatest show on dirt returns to Stockton Dirt Track. October 31st and November 1st. It's the 42nd annual tribute to Gary Patterson. 2 nights of all-out racing to the finish, crowning the 2025 champions on dirt. Tickets now at StocktonDirtTrack.com.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140
on Sactown Sports.
Great stuff, great calls. Seeing some of the text line, just getting to it now. 916 says, suggesting Westbrook start for the Kings is a, quote, great call. 3 games in, and we in full-blown Kangs mode. Seems about right. That's from the 916. I mean, is there any argument that Westbrook didn't play better than Keon Ellis? Because he did.
I don't know. Westbrook was pretty rough in that second half.
They all were, though. And you know what, Kyle? Funny you say that as we see another texter saying, anybody want to talk about DeRozan going 6 for 22 with 22 points, basically saying that it was, and he was 9 for 22, so better than that. That's much better than 6 for 22.
Hey, it's not 9. It's not 6. It's 9 for 22.
9 for 22 is better than 6 for 22. 6 for 22 is rough. They're both rough. Don't get me wrong, but
at least 9 for 22, you're above 40%.
Yeah, it is. It's 9 for 22. They've been bad in the second half, period. And I'm gonna look, man. Don't get mad at me. But can we now? Is it too early to say that they are not the best conditioned team in the NBA? Is that what
you probably weren't there, but on the broadcast there was a funny moment where they were talking. I might have the timelines reversed, but they were talking about how they brought in this trainer who worked with the Bulls and the Lakers during their dynasty, and Mark Jones was going over their routine of like what you had to do. You had to run like baselines 10 times. And I think while Mark Jones was talking about it was the play where Austin Reaves ripped the ball away from the defender and got a layup. It was just a very, like, something funny happened while Mark Jones was explaining the conditioning.
Look, it is early. It's just, that's the thing. It's early, but y'all know how I feel. I do the same thing every season. It gets bad quick. And 3 games where you were favored, you went 1-2. You got a gift. And the Kings, they've always been bad at, that friend that says, oh, I'm bad at, I'm bad at accepting gifts. I'm bad at when people say nice things about me. I'm bad at accepting that. That's the Kings, the NBA, the basketball gods. Here goes a Laker game here goes a Suns game with no Jalen Green. Nah, I'm good.
Grayson Allen, 20-point second half.
Here, fine. Take this Laker game with no LeBron and no Luka. Nah, I'm good. No, I can't accept that. They've always been bad at accepting gifts. And everybody wants to talk about how Sacramento always gets screwed over. And I don't disagree holistically, but when they don't get screwed over, they find a way to screw themselves over. And that's a problem. That is a problem. So somebody, they said that was from Carl Thornton. DeRozan, it was 9 for 22, not 6 for 22. Other people just saying it's time, Allen. It's time. Look, I understand the tankathon, and I'm sure some of you saw my post on X about Cam Boozer, because these guys, all three of them look good. Now, will all three of them be all-stars? Probably not. But, I mean, they're talking about it, Kyle. You know what it is. I don't know if any one of them, none of them have the same height as a LeBron, but they are talking about this draft class, the top of this draft class, like 2003. They are.
Yeah.
They are.
I haven't heard someone go that far.
They
I think
are.
They are.
No. They are. Okay.
Those are the offensive rebound.
Thank you.
And the putback.
I'm just saying. They are. Now, it's too early for that. Don't get me wrong. It's too early.
I don't know. Darren Peterson, 24 points in the first half.
Look, we're going to have the conversation. But right now, it is too early. Okay? Now, as we get deeper into this thing, and Kyle, I know we got Chrissy's Cups coming up. As we get deeper into this thing, those conversations will naturally happen. Right now, let's hear from the man himself. It's time for Christy's Cuts.
46, you said? I mean, we got to play defense without fouling, obviously. But there are two teams on the floor. So, it's wild. It's wild. I have to go back and look at it. I mean, he hit the pocket. The point is get the ball out of his hands. So, he made some shots where some crazy ones, and once you get hot like that, it's whatever. You can hit shots, but hitting the pocket and somebody else beating us is totally that's part of what you're doing when you put two on the ball. When you put two on the ball, they got an advantage on the backside, and then you just have to scramble around. So he shot 22 free throws. Yeah, Zach is playing at a really, really high level. I mean, I'm not even really concerned with the points. Like, he's competing on the defensive end, which is like, I mad love. He's from my town, so the utmost respect for Zach going out and competing. Like, to 32, like, that's what he do. So that's really not that surprising. The defensive commitment that he continues to show, is to be commended. Massive amount of respect for Zach on that end of the floor, because, he's that's how you win, and he's committed to trying to win, and I nothing but love. That's big time.
That was Doug Christie, and funny enough, I was just reading through some of these comments, and Jeff M on chat says,
not Pharmacy Jeff.
Maybe, we don't know. Jeff M says Doug sounds broken, and he really does. He really does. And that was game 3. Now, that was specific to how that game went, so I'm not putting too much on it. That was specific to how that game went. And just the happenings of the free throws and all of that. But he does sound, and I think part of that, I mean, you let somebody drop 51 on you and take 22 free throws, that'll break a lot of people.
I think what broke Doug the most, though, is that he said coming into the season they're just not going to lose a fight, and it just couldn't cross his mind that they possibly could lose the fight. And now they're 2-1 in the fight. And that's impossible because they were 82-0.
Well, they're 1-2 in the record books, and that's what I care about.
But it's the fight.
31 minutes. Domantas Sabonis. This is coming up at 11 as we just talk about the roster construction. Domantas Sabonis, 31 minutes. He took 8 shots. He was in foul trouble early, so he's coming back from the hammy first game against the Jazz, and he's dealing with 8,000 7-footers. Zach LaVine said he could barely see out there. Zach LaVine talking like he's Tua Tagovailoa. Can't see anything. 31 minutes for Domas, 10 points, did have 14 rebounds. DeMar, 40 minutes, 9 for 22. Carl Thornton Jr., not 6 for 22. 21 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, -4 on the night. Domas was just canceled himself out. It wasn't negative or positive. Dennis Schroeder, 35 minutes, 7 for 18 from the field, 3 of 9 from 3. Dennis Schroeder, I think right now, he did have 12 assists, so good on Dennis, to shut me up as far as the assists were concerned. He was a -16 though, which is significantly worse than anybody else in the game. 18 points. I think right now Dennis doesn't know what's the happy medium between his playmaking and his shooting. Zach LaVine, 40 minutes, 32 points. He was 4 of 9 from three-point range, 4 rebounds. We know he's not really there to assist. He was a -8. Keon Ellis he fouled out. He was a +2. The only positive in the starting lineup. Like I said, Domas was just a 0. 6 points, 1 of 4 from three-point land. Had a hot start. He had the steal to start the game, right? Or it got tipped to him to start the game to kick things off. And then he struggled defensively against Austin Reaves. And, again, this goes back to the conversation of, is there a little bit of purple lenses when it comes to Keon as far as, him being this quote-unquote lockdown defender when we look around the league at the Dyson Daniels and guys like that. I just looked up, and we got to get to the other side here, and we will do that. We will finish our box score breakdown as well as the roster. What are we doing? And are you worried about Domantas Sabonis? Brendan Nunez isn't, but I think I am. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
The Drive Guys, weekdays 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
on Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, max out your savings. The more you buy, the more you save on beds, bases, and more. Plus, get free home delivery on any smart bed with base. Limited time. Check it out at a Sleep Number store near you or at sleepnumber.com today.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Charlie's battery is struggling to start. Not ideal before the tailgate, so he goes to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where a friendly AutoZoner tests his battery for free. Looks like he needs a new one, so he gets a Duralast battery.
Have fun and stay warm.
And he makes it to the tailgate early enough to get his favorite spot. Free battery testing and charging. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I'm a plumber and needed to get work in the door.
So business was going down the drain?
Yeah, I went to Staples. They printed yard signs, business cards, even flyers to leave at supply stores.
But at what cost, man?
Well, I saved $125 on my order, and now I'm booked solid. Boom!
Back at ya. For your business printing, Staples.
That was easy.
Now save up to $125 on custom print orders. Valid in-store and online. Ends 11/1. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
With Progressive, you can reach customer service in the way that's easiest for you, by phone, app, or online. We know it would be great if we just magically appeared, but that's more of a genie thing, and we do insurance. But with us, you'd be like, well, it wasn't a genie, but it was great customer service, so that's nice. And sure, you probably would still like the whole 3 wishes thing, so if you meet a genie, you should definitely ask. But when you need us, contact Progressive by phone, app, or online. Just no genies. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sactown Sports 1140.
A turn, a flip, and a score. This body
was contorted sideways, and somehow he squared up and got the shot off for a career-high 47 points. Launches for three, bounces high and into the hands of Reaves, and that will do it. The Lakers go to 2-1. They win their fifth straight against the Kings. The final score is 127-120.
Live and local.
When it comes to the music choices, because the Kings have a large group at this, not necessarily a large group, but two very important players on the team from LA. And it just feels like when you're in that building, you had all the stupid Laker fans that were there yesterday that are always there. And they had a lot to cheer about. So there's purple everywhere because Kings obviously are purple too. So you can't tell what's what. And then they're cheering them. Then on top of that, because of all the LA feel that the Kings have because of DeMar and Westbrook, somebody's going to say, Allen, you're an idiot, and that's fine. But there is way too much LA. It's all Dr. Dre, it's Snoop Dogg. I mean, it felt like an LA game. I'm not even going to lie. And I hope I don't get in trouble for this. There was a lot of LA. They've been playing Kendrick for the last 2 years, but they're playing all Dr. Dre, all Snoop Dogg. There's just a lot of LA feel in that building because of obviously where Westbrook and DeMar are from.
I mean, Zach lives down there too.
Yeah, it's a little much. I'm just saying.
I can't speak for it myself, but that is really funny. I know they've been playing Kendrick a lot for God knows how long now. But
the Kendrick thing was one thing, but yesterday, literally, they were playing from the same album you just played, Kyle. Literally, it's Snoop Dogg one break, it's Dr. Dre the next. It's all L.A. It's the Bay when they play Bay music. It's like okay. Close enough.
So do the players on the team pick that?
That's a good question.
That's because I know they pick it for practice.
I'm going to be even more petty and say that you should have just shut it down for that game. Maybe there's like a level of trolling. We're going to play LA music when LA's in town and we're going to beat you playing your music. But then you can't let Austin Reaves drop 51 in that case.
Yeah, the Hillbilly Kobe going for 51
my goodness.
all of a sudden.
It was a nightmare.
Because I know they have a DJ, but I don't know if the DJ is picking the soundtrack or if it's like they're requesting the DJ play certain beats. I would love to know the answer if anyone knows.
There's some playlists, don't get me wrong, but it's a lot of LA music. I'm just saying. That's not why they fouled them. But you saw Aaron Gordon go off. He's from the Bay. They were playing Mac Dre and everything. Now the Warriors won, but Aaron Gordon went off for 50.
Yeah.
You feeling it?
I mean,
I don't think. Well, Austin ain't from LA, but he's been out there long enough. He's got the vibes now.
He's on billboards.
Yeah.
I've been through LA. He's the one because they can't afford Luka or LeBron or it was AD back then. So Austin Reaves is the one who's on like all the like you need a lawyer, call blah 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 like on buses.
He's just
and
taking
billboards.
the scraps.
Yeah, and it's all Austin Reaves. I was like, I've driven. My brother used to live in LA, and I was like, I've driven through LA for an hour, and I've seen 3 Austin Reaves billboards.
Hey man, get in where you fit in, and that's what Austin Reaves did yesterday. I wanted to finish up the box score breakdown before we talk about this roster as a whole. And, of course, you can be a part of the conversation, 916-339-1140. So we were at Keon Ellis. Okay, we talked about Zach LaVine. Then we were at Keon Ellis, Dario Saric, and Drew Eubanks, 2 of the 4 dudes on the team that are taller than 6'6", combined for 8 minutes. Okay? And it wasn't like, I mean, DeAndre Ayton did go for 22 and 15, but it was a really weird 22 and 15. He had 3 turnovers, 4 fouls. He was a -6 on the night. So kind of a weird night, but he did figure it out and towards the second half and then a little bit in the second half. But when 2 of your guys that are taller than 6'6" combined for 8 minutes, that's a problem. Because Dylan Cardwell, I don't know if he's taller than either of them, but Dylan Cardwell and his brand of basketball just made more sense. Dario Saric has been unplayable. And Drew Eubanks never saw a shot. And we got the sound from our media day. He said, I'm at the point in my career where, when you get the shot, just take it. That brother was not kidding. He was not kidding.
Yeah, now that Sabonis is back, we don't need that anymore.
And what's so funny is he took one shot, but it still feels like too many. He took one shot last night. It feels like too many.
Well, he didn't play in the second half. He didn't play the entire second half. Also, speaking of shots, remember when Doug said the goal was to shoot 50 3-pointers in a game? Mm-hmm. Well, they kind of got close yesterday.
Yeah, they did.
43. They took
41%, 41.9%.
They took 25 3-pointers in the second half of that game, and they shot it fine. It's not even a critique. They were 36%, which is literally the league average. But I'm just marveling. They shot 25 threes in the second half of that game.
No, well, 41. No, they shot it at 41.9.
Oh, sorry. I was just talking about the second half.
Yeah.
Sorry. First half, they were better. Second half, they were on pace. If Doug was saying we're going to shoot 53s a game, the second half was exactly the tape you should use to say, hey, guys, we can do it.
Yeah. You have Dylan Cardwell, 13 minutes, no points. He was forced to take that grenade three and airballed it. We know that's not really his game. 3 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block, 4 fouls, 2 turnovers. Isaac Jones, again, my favorite part about watching Kings basketball is how somebody can start one game and play 1 minute the next. So Isaac Jones played 1 measly minute. Russell Westbrook played 27, 6 for 12 from the field, 4 for 6 from 3. Again, outstanding game from the Brody. Russell Westbrook, 18 points, 6 assists, only 2 turnovers, 1 steal, 6 rebounds as well. Just outstanding. Outstanding. Malik Monk, again, outstanding. He was a +7 on the night. 24 minutes, 5 of 9 from the field, 3 of 6 from three-point land, 15 points. If Malik keeps playing like this, he won't be a Sacramento King. Not if they keep losing. If he keeps playing like this and they keep losing games, Malik Monk will not be a Sacramento King by the trade deadline.
I saw an insane stat. Malik Monk is shooting 63% from three-point this season.
We're only 3 games in, but he will not be a Sacramento King. Somebody will go get him, and the Kings will get a decent return. That's the truth.
The one last note I have on this box score, I'm going to read you a stat line here, and I'm going to have you guess what you think this is. 30 points, 7 of 12 from the field, 5 of 7 from 3, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, plus 14.
What is that, Malik in 3 games, 2 games?
No, that is, again, 30 point. That's crazy that you said that. 30 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, plus 14. That is Austin Reaves' second half totals.
Oh, my gosh.
That is Austin Reaves in the second half by himself, outscoring every King except Zach LaVine, who had 32 and 0 assists.
Yeah, and Kyle, we'll see if we have that Dennis Schroeder sound, because I want to tick some people off just at the end, how he mentions sometimes it be like that, because it didn't have to be like that. It did not have to be like that. You got to find a way. And again, look, if you are able to win a game that you have no business winning, then that's okay. We can move forward. But this thing is about to get real dicey for the Kings real quick. They have the Thunder tomorrow in OKC. All right, I have no clue what that line is. Then they will go to – it's a back-to-back. Then they will go to Chicago to take on the Bulls, which when you lose to the Suns – you're on and beat the Jazz by 1, you're on notice, right? Can we sit there and say off a back-to-back confidently that they're going to beat the Bulls? I don't know.
Bulls are 2-0.
Yeah.
Bulls just went into Orlando and beat the Magic, who everyone had to either go to the conference finals or win the conference finals.
Yeah. Kings, go ahead.
They had 7 players score in double figures.
Then you have to go to Milwaukee. Then you go to Denver, and then you come back to face who at home? The Golden State Warriors. So, that's just the reality. That's just the reality of where the Kings are at right now.
Then after that, you get the Thunder.
The breakdown, of this roster and what's missing, what's not missing. I was having a conversation with Brendan Nunez, and I said, is it too early to talk about Domantas Sabonis and his fit on this team? And somebody asked Doug about Domantas Sabonis, and, same thing. He's going to find his spots. and he had the hamstring injury, missed the first game, so this is only his second game. He was coming back. Didn't look right, I don't think, against the Jazz, and he was dealing with a bunch of guys bigger than him, even though he's the center on the Kings. And then last night, got into foul trouble early, couldn't really find his groove, and he did in the second half a little bit. It's not a red light, obviously, but I think there is a yellow light, or the light is about to turn yellow as far as my thoughts on how he fits in this new offense. Because it's Zach LaVine, go get yours. DeMar DeRozan, go get yours, who hasn't really been getting his these last couple games. Then you have Dennis Schroeder, who he's not afraid to shoot the ball. And by the way, this is all happening with no Keegan Murray. Russell Westbrook, who's getting in, he's not afraid to shoot. Malik Monk, who's been great, but he needs his shots. Again, when you look at Domantas Sabonis and what you're paying him to do, and then you see the game change and you see the lineup change, some of these things are not adding up. They're not adding up right now. There's time. Like I said, it's not even a yellow light yet, but I think the green is about to turn to yellow to figure out where he fits in this. And the idea of Domantas Sabonis taking some leap and averaging 20 a game, there is no way in hell Domantas Sabonis is averaging 20 on this roster. There's no way. It's not possible.
This is where I struggle with the conversation, though, because talking about how Sabonis fits in, quote unquote, with the roster feels wrong to me, because the roster is supposed to complement him, right? He is the best player. He is the one who is going to be the difference between wins and losses many nights, as we saw them get ran off the floor against Phoenix in the second half, but then against the Jazz, Sabonis comes back and he ends up hitting the game-winning shot, right? So that's where I struggle with
Put back.
Yeah, sure, put back.
I'm just saying it wasn't drawn up for him. It was a putback.
Yeah, he took the game.
Yes.
Which, that's where I struggle with it, because this whole thing is, the whole point of moving on from De'Aaron Fox and Mike Brown and going this direction is that you're supposed to build around Sabonis. Sabonis is the all-NBA player. Sabonis is the franchise guy. And so the idea of talking about where he needs to get in or fit in just feels strange to me, because the whole thing is supposed to revolve around him. He is the point center of this offense.
Yeah, I know he had the issues with the foul trouble. Yeah, 3 assists, 3 steals, but 3 assists. So the days of, I remember back in the day, challenging Jokic for triple doubles and the arguments of whether it was empty calories or not. Domantas Sabonis, I mean, back in the day, this man, it felt like he was averaging 6 assists a night. Well, and it started last season when they moved on from De'Aaron, but those days are long gone for Domantas Sabonis right now.
Well, and on the scoring front, it's like that second season, the year after Beam Team, it was like he's got 60 consecutive double-doubles, and the only time the streak got broken was he passed up a dunk at the end of the game that would have got him to 10 points. Last night, it was like he never even had a shot at getting to 10 points, and it just felt normal, because it's like, well, Westbrook's going to get his, and LaVine and DeRozan, and like there's just so many offensive players, and Sabonis defers. That's his game. He wants to make other players better, and he obviously has sacrificed on the offensive end throughout his career, but there's not a world. He still has to be able to get his own, I think, more importantly than anyone on the team other than LaVine and maybe DeMar DeRozan. Like, other than them, Sabonis also has to get his own on offense.
Since getting traded, besides the season that Domantas Sabonis got traded to the Kings in 2022, that first season, age 26 in 2023, Beam Team, he averaged, Kyle, 7.3 assists. The next season after that, and he was seventh, and he was All-Star. He was third team All-NBA, and he was seventh in MVP voting. The next season, when they lost to the Pels, he averaged 8.2 assists per game. Okay, and he was 8th in MVP voting. It's actually 10th in DPOY. Okay.
No, that was just one person voted for him.
It says it on Basketball Reference.
But I remember that. That was one person gave him a 5th place vote.
He was 10th in Defensive Player of the Year, and he was 3rd team All-NBA. Last season, And I would assume if we did this research, I would assume he averaged 6 assists a game, right? I would assume that average dropped a lot once they traded De'Aaron. And him getting those assist numbers probably dropped off a decent bit after the Zach LaVine trade. Now, I could be wrong, but that wouldn't surprise me. And then this season, obviously, just a couple games, he's not even close. So it's not just the scoring, but just the play, his purpose. His purpose, why he was worth that contract right now, doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. So I think adjustments need to be made defensively. I also think that some adjustments need to be made offensively because I do feel like that's a weird thing when it comes to this roster. Doug has done it. Others have done it. We're going to score the basketball, right? They've said that. We're going to score the basketball. That's not a problem. But I do think the way you score matters. I do think a system, like all scoring amounts aren't created equal. You scored 120, but how did you get there? Domantas Sabonis obviously had foul trouble, but are you getting there in a way that is conducive to the long-term success of your team? You only scored 105 against the Jazz. Obviously, Domantas Sabonis was just coming back, and just because we didn't get to talk about the Jazz because it was on Friday, Domantas Sabonis, he did play 37 minutes, didn't feel like it. He had 12 points, he had 1 assist and 12 rebounds. So that was Domantas Sabonis' first game back, but first game back, but he played 37 minutes, so it's not as if they were keeping an eye on his minutes. So how you get there, 105 against the Utah Jazz, I know they're a big team, but 105 against the Utah Jazz, how did it look though? Right? 12 points for Domantas Sabonis. 120 against the Lakers. How did it look though? So it's almost as if, you know what it reminds me of, Kyle? It's like the Kings are just surviving, right? Right now, and I was talking with my guy, Tony Harvey, who's on the chat, but right now, right, with she's 6 weeks now with our little one, we're just surviving. You know what I mean? We haven't tried to put her in her room yet. If she falls asleep on the couch, one of us just stays downstairs on the couch, whatever it is. We're just in survival. Your first month, 2 months with a newborn, it's just survival mode. You're not trying to set any naps. You're not trying to organize. She eats when she's hungry. You're not trying to do any of that. You're just surviving. That's what it feels like the Kings are doing right now. They're just surviving. They're just, hey, if Zach is hot, let's just ride the hot hand. And shout out to Zach LaVine on Friday. Apparently, he told Doug. Doug said this in the postgame. Malik was hot, so Zach LaVine skipped his normal or his scheduled return to the game because Malik was rolling. That's great. But at the same time, and that's great for Zach LaVine to do that. But in general, the offense just feels like it's both sides, really, because you threw 14 different people on Austin Reaves, and you started Isaac Jones one game, and the next game he plays 1 minute. It's just survival mode, right? There's no, we're trying to set plans up for the future. There's no nap time they're trying to infiltrate. There's no scheduled feeding time. There's none of that. It's just survival. Let's just try to scrap our way to a W.
All right, if you had to guess total shot attempts for the Kings this season, and it's only 3 games, but who would you say is at the top of the list?
LaVine.
Yeah, 66. Who would you say is next?
Probably just DeMar.
Yeah, DeMar, 48. Who would you guess is next?
This is interesting. I'm actually going to say Malik Monk.
Malik Monk is 4th at 36.
Okay.
This person is at 47, if that helps.
Is it Schroeder?
It's Schroeder at 47.
Yeah. He's pulling, man.
You want to guess who's 5th?
Is now Domas?
Nope.
I was going to joke and say Drew Eubanks. Is it Russell Westbrook?
It is Russell Westbrook.
See, that's crazy.
At 25. Obviously, one less game. Then you get to Domantas Sabonis at 17.
Yeah.
Even if you take averages, Sabonis is averaging 8.5 shots per game. Westbrook is averaging 8.3. That is insane. Russell Westbrook cannot be taking the same number of shots as Domantas Sabonis.
Yeah.
That is, I don't care how many corner threes Westbrook hit in the first half yesterday. There is not a world where Russell Westbrook should be taking the same number of shots as Sabonis.
But he was nice from the corner.
Yeah, in the first half. The second half, little rough. Also,
isn't that what they say on the other side, though? How many times have we heard a broadcast say, this is good, because in the second half, the other team will be okay with them shoot. And this is not just Westbrook, anybody, right? If a traditional non-shooter gets hot in the first half, they're going to say, hey, you know what? We'll live with it because that will probably give them irrational confidence going into the second half.
Westbrook never has a problem with irrational confidence.
I guess it doesn't matter if he's hitting or not, but if he is hitting, and I thought, look, the vibes were high. This is the same cut and paste from Phoenix. And the only difference is, obviously, they ended up with a huge lead. They never ran away from the Lakers. If anything, the Lakers were keeping the Lakers at bay.
Also, to answer your original question, last year, Sabonis 6.4 assists pre-Fox trade, 5.4 assists post-Fox trade.
So not a crazy difference, but it did drop.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit.
Yeah.
But also Sabonis was hurt.
Yeah, that's true, too. So a lot of different ways to approach this. Malik Monk, the guy that they tried to trade as the confetti fell on OKC's floor, he's been outstanding. And you won't have a problem moving him. It'll make me sad, but he keeps playing like this. You will not have a problem because Malik Monk has probably been top 2 best player on the team in these first 3 games. That's what he's been. So you have that. You have the issues with Domantas Sabonis. And as I'm saying that, somebody's getting at me on X saying, we also can't overlook the continued decline of Sabonis. It's a rough thing to see, and I hate to admit it. That is somebody responding to me about the 34.5 and why Vegas thought that was appropriate. I'm not willing to say that for Domantas Sabonis. This is the same thing we've talked about with Malik Monk last season, with even Keon Ellis as well, even though Keon didn't play great last night, not putting your guys in a position to succeed. And right now, I don't think Domantas Sabonis. Now, look, I'm not going to get into the, for lack of a better term, politics of it, but this was somewhat of the plan. This was somewhat of the plan. So I don't know how much complaining could be done when it comes to, oh, well, now he's going to ask out, whatever it is. This was somewhat of the plan. And we'll see. They're still getting their sea legs under them, but it's just the roster has questions. Like Dylan Cardwell, I love him. Great energy. He gave that primal scream after that random block for a cool 7 seconds. It was incredible.
Oh, you also missed the other thing he did because you might have been driving home where after a ball, he saved a ball going out of bounds, I want to say. And as he ran down the court, he rubbed Doug on the head. As he was running by, just gave Doug a rub on the top of his head, which I thought was crazy. But yeah, Dylan's got.
Oh, I did see that. I was back.
Okay. Yeah, Dylan, big energy guy, but I will also say this dude's got a fouling problem. He just cannot defend without fouling.
But that's not even. Yes, but he should not be getting these minutes right now.
Yeah, the fact that he's played 27 minutes so far.
This is not a Dylan Cardwell conversation. This is a roster construction conversation.
The fact that he's played 8 times as many minutes as Devin Carter.
You cannot play Drew Eubanks was one of your gets, right? And Jonas Valanciunas is on the Nuggets now, but he's one of your gets. And Dario Saric, he came over in that trade too. That was the trade. So Dario Saric, Drew Eubanks, those were your big man gets, and they're unplayable. They're unplayable against DeAndre Ayton, who is not even known. And this was a smaller Lakers team. DeAndre Ayton was their big man. What Rui go, 6'6"? Rui go 6'6"?
6'7", maybe?
Yeah. Maybe. Then you have, obviously, Austin, who's a cool 6'4". He's a guard. They didn't play. Vanderbilt, same idea. Jake LaRavia, same idea. So and maybe that's the problem, that they couldn't keep up because they were a bit smaller. But and no Isaac Jones, 1 minute. What's going on?
So through the 3 games, here's the minutes numbers of the bigs. And granted, Nick Clifford played the first one at kind of the 4, so I'm going to lump him in here too. And he's missed a couple games, but here's your minutes breakdown of your bigs: Drew Eubanks 37, Dario Saric 28, Dylan Cardwell 27, Nick Clifford 24. Isaac Jones, 15. Maxime Reynaud, 11.
Yeah.
They're not even, they're just splitting it up between all of them and just rotating.
No Maxime.
No, Maxime.
Last night?
Maxime's getting less minutes than Cardwell.
Again, I don't know that he would have helped, but you got to try something. I mean, you need size. You need size, and you at least need some threat of score. Again, this is survival. We're getting cooked defensively, so let's get Dylan Cardwell in there, even though he's not going to give us anything offensively. It's survival versus, all right, Maxime might get cooked a little bit, right? And this is all stuff that's going to work itself out if this continues. If they start winning, then they're still going to be continuing to survive. But if they continue to lose in survival mode, then becomes a conversation, and we're not there yet, and hopefully we don't get there. But then comes a conversation of we're going to play Maxime instead of Cardwell because this is more about getting Maxime those reps. That's what comes in a couple months. We're not there yet.
And I get Nick Clifford is going to come back at some point, but I look at it, I'm like, they've played the Suns without Jalen Green, the Utah Jazz, and the Austin Reaves Lakers. Like, what is going to happen when they play an actually great offense?
We're going to find out tomorrow.
What this whole stretch.
Yeah.
Although the Timberwolves now are going to be without Anthony Edwards. So, hey, good luck.
No. You know what who is it? Is it Dante? Evil Dante?
White Dante? Yeah.
Is it going to be Dante? Is it going to be
Jaden?
It might be Jaden.
Oh, it's I know who it's going to be. It's going to be Naz Reid.
It's for sure going to be Naz Reid.
Yeah, Naz Reid's going to have 40 points.
Lord help us. We will get you on the other side. Do not move. We got some text to read through as well. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729 or visit us at powercopiers.com.
At Valley Strong Credit Union, we know that local businesses are the backbone of the Central Valley, investing in our neighborhoods, boosting the economy, making the Valley stronger. But when it comes to their finances, where can they turn? A big bank that just sees another number? That's not good enough. Valley businesses deserve Valley support for payroll, credit, cash flow, and everything in between. Valley Business is Valley Strong. Learn how our cash management services can support your business at valleystrong.com.
The statewide special election is November 4th. All registered voters will receive their ballot in the mail. Check to make sure you're registered correctly at elections.saccounty.gov or call toll-free 800-762-8019. As the temperatures drop, keep your home cozy and your family safe with Maverick Electric Heating and Air, your local family-owned team you can trust. They care about the families they serve because they're part of this community too. This fall, schedule your seasonal tune-up to make sure your system is ready before the cold sets in. Visit MaverickElectricalServices.com or call Maverick Electric and let their family take care of yours this season.
The deals are on now at the model year-end sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save on year-end models and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
The mildest summer in 30 years has left AC makers with overstock and far below their sales targets. Your chance for huge savings. Sierra Pacific's partnership with top manufacturers mean exclusive discounts to clear inventory fast. Get premium systems installed flawlessly by friendly pros with ironclad warranties and great discounts with SMUD rebates. Plus, HVAC's tax credits expire December 31st. Call for your complimentary proposal. Visit SierraPacificHome.com.
Sierra Pacific Solar Heating and Air. The guys in the big red trucks.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. And it's always fun when Will calls in. I never know. Okay. Oh, different Will. Okay. All right. Well, let's see what this Will has to say. 916-339-1140. What's up, Will? Happy Monday. What you got for us?
Hey, yeah, different Will. I used to call in a lot more often, not so often now.
Well, thank you for rejoining us. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Just usually at work at this time. Anyway, so here's the thing. What people need to understand, because you got all people yelling for a break it down, a rebuild. You got people going, make this trade, that trade. Mm-hmm. We're back where we were before the Beam Team season. We changed general managers. We're locked into certain contracts, certain commitments, certain guys that you can't just move. You can't just say, oh, we want Team X to take player A and we want player B and you got to do this. It doesn't work like that. Trades have to come to benefit both teams. Everybody has to work it out and be happy with it. So what we're in a situation of is about a year and a half to 2 years before we have about $80-85 million worth of expiring money. We have talented veteran players who are being showcased to try to move them and to get younger guys, draft picks, whatever we need in here to reconstruct this roster in the vision that Scott Perry has. But it's not going to happen instantaneously as we saw this summer. You got to have guys showcase. It may not win. It may not look that good, but the idea is to make guys like Malik, guys like DeMar, guys like Zach, guys like DeMontis look valuable to teams that are contending so that they will give up their draft picks and their young players and salary cap relief.
Thanks for the call, Will. That was great stuff because you're spot on, and it's not what people want to hear because of the timeline, right? Because the timeline is not at the end of this season based on the money. It's the end of next season. Because Domantas Sabonis, this is the third year he's got left, or he still has 3 years left.
Yeah, this is year 2 of a 4-year deal.
Right. So going in to next season, after next season, that's when he would be viewed as an expiring contract. Same, I believe, with Malik Monk. Right?
Yes.
So those two would be expiring. Now, Zach LaVine and DeMar, that's different. So that would get shed. Same idea, right? So LaVine would be done after next season. Okay?
Well, and even if they brought back DeMar, he would too.
He would too. So those guys would be done after. Nobody's done after this season. That's the issue.
Except Keon.
So nobody is done after this season. That's the reality. So to Will's point, you're just trying to showcase guys and see if maybe you get somebody to bite early on. Because this is Scott Perry. Scott Perry got brought in, and some people are saying, well, Scott Perry signed Drew Eubanks, and he's not good, or he has not been good. And Scott Perry brought in Dennis Schroeder, and Scott Perry brought in, certain guys and Dario Saric. But imagine you're dealing with somebody else's. You get asked to clean up a mess. I've said this before. You get asked to clean up a mess, right? When those people come in, ever watch Hoarders? And they got to come in to help the person that's hoarding all this stuff. They can't do it all in one day. They got to section off. One day is the living room where they got all this random crap. The next day is the kitchen. Right, and then the person is freaking out. It's actually pretty funny because the person is freaking out saying, no, don't move. This is actually too much of a parallel. No, you can't move that. I'm getting choked. They're going to cut us off. You can't move that. No, that's my special.
That's my special Zach LaVine.
Yeah, God said it, not me. That's my special bowl. No, my mother gave me that bowl. You can't move that bowl.
See, that show makes me sad. The one that I like is the one that I like is American Pickers, because at least they pretend like the stuff in people's house is actually valuable.
Yeah. Look, you can't move that. You can't move that either. Okay, well, we have to move something. We have to move something.
This is why we're here.
That's why we're here.
But now I feel like we're maybe because it's kind of like a condition, is like needing to hoard things.
Okay,
and then it's
Kyle, I'm not this is the Gen Z coming at it.
Yeah, look, all I'm saying is that show makes me sad, which maybe the Kings make me sad too. I mean, that's what I'm learning.
Look, right now, and another good call by Will, this summer there wasn't anything happening, right? And they can sell it to us how they want to sell it, because I don't know that for a fact. There are things that I do know, and there are conversations that were had that maybe got reported, maybe didn't. But the idea of, hey, DeMar wants to return, and Zach is returning, and Domantas Sabonis. The only person I know for a fact wanted to return, based on what we heard, based on reports, is Domantas Sabonis. There were, and Sam Amick wrote this not too long ago, there were conversations about, hey, Domantas Sabonis is going to reevaluate or whatever. Doug Christie stayed. They went and got a point guard, and it was what it was. But everybody else, it very easily could have been, well, there is nowhere else to go right now. There's nowhere else to go right now. So that's going to be the case. And I'll tell you what, Malik Monk, like I said, he is doing a heck of a job for himself. To Will's point, Domantas Sabonis is not, again, not that he wants to go anywhere, because I don't believe he does, but there is no showcase going on for Domantas Sabonis right now. Not in these first 3 games. There's zero showcase. He didn't play the first one, but that is not a showcase to say, I want to pay this brother $40 million a year.
I think the thing with Sabonis specifically is teams are trading for Sabonis based on him replicating his past 3 seasons, right? Mm-hmm. If he looks a semblance of what he looked like the last 3 seasons, there will be value for him, because that's an all-NBA level center. Even if you think other centers have passed him by and he won't make all-NBA because of, there's only 3 spots that you can hand out, he is still at the production level of a center who was named to the all-NBA team. Mm-hmm. So teams will trade based on mostly his past production already. All we need is for him to just not look completely washed, which I don't have a concern with that, because it's Domantas Sabonis and he's still only 29 years old. You don't see that precipitous decline for players really until 34 or 35. At some point, they're going to have to try to figure out what they want to be offensively. And, I guess to try to put a positive spin on things, there is still Keegan Murray, and him coming back will help a lot. The problem is that could be 20 games into the season. And again, you're going to look at the standings, and even with Keegan coming back, that's a lot to make up. And it's not realistic. It's not. But also, Keegan only does but so much. And I guess I should throw Nick Clifford in there too, right? Nick Clifford has helped on the defensive end of the floor, at least in one small game of sample size that we've seen. He played pretty well on defense. He did play well. Yes. And these soft tissue muscles are ruining everything. Yeah. Literally everything. By the way, guess what Anthony Edwards' injury is now? Hamstring. Guys, how many times? Hold on. I'm doing it again. Just hold on. You got to reach your toes, man. You got to stretch and touch your toes. You got to do it, guys. You couldn't even do it on the table. I'm not a professional athlete anymore. Well, never was, but semi-pro. Long time ago. I mean, nowadays you would be considered a professional athlete. Yeah, I got paid. Long time ago. But the hammies, man. Back then, you could have gotten $500 gift cards to Wingstop. No, look, man. Get some good. I would have had cheesesteak NILs up the wazoo. And by me, you mean the Temple baseball team. And specifically me. The Allen Special with some Cheese Whiz. The Allen Special Cheese Whiz, extra onions, and, throw some jalapenos on it. And then it's going to be right there on the menu next to the Daquan Plowden with his ketchup. Why couldn't we see Daquan Plowden? Allen, we kind of know why we can't see Daquan Plowden. Why? They're losing. Free Daquan. Free him. Still hasn't seen a minute yet. Free him. How about this Devin Carter situation? Somebody, and that's what's so funny to me. Somebody said, Jeff on the chat said, Devin Carter shouldn't be on the floor. That's what we're doing today. He played 3 minutes. And all he did in that 3 minutes was get a charge. Yeah. He didn't even do anything. Why are we doing the Devin Carter thing? All he did was run the break and take a charge. He didn't take a charge. He got called for a charging foul by Austin Reaves. I did not wake up this morning saying, man, you know what? How the hell did Devin Carter get 3 minutes?
those minutes could have, well, I guess they could have went to Daquan Plowden, I guess, but those minutes could have went somewhere else.
And literally, it was literally like, Keon's got 3 fouls. Okay. Yeah. Keon's got 4 fouls. Okay. Keon picks up a 5th foul. Okay, Devin can finally go in because we just can't play Keon anymore. And then Keon ended up fouling out anyways. But it was literally just because Keon was in foul trouble. If Keon has 1 less foul in a game where the Lakers didn't actually get fouled that many times compared to how many free throws they took. But in a game where the Lakers shot more free throws than they have in any game of the last 25 years, it took Keon Ellis picking up a 5th foul for Devin Carter to finally, or a 4th foul for Devin Carter to finally be allowed to go into a game, which is crazy. One of those national NBA people had a tweet about it last night that kind of just put it in perspective, and it was the 13th pick in last year's draft has played 3 minutes in 3 games.
On a bad team.
Yeah, on a team
that's the kicker out of all this.
On a team that should be 0-3 and last place in the West.
916-339-1140. How you feeling about the Sacramento Kings? Anybody out there saying, Allen, it's too early for all this. I still have hope. I know you're out there. I know the hopium runs strong in some of you. It's not completely gone with me, but they need to give us something to be hopeful about. Let's discuss that. And we got a pie chart. Where should the blame go for these losses? Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
The holidays are here, full of joy, family, friends, and yes, a little hustle and bustle. That's why you need Aleve. Between cooking, shopping, and all those extra errands, aches and pains can sneak in. Aleve is here to help with long-lasting body pain relief. Don't let body pain slow you down. With up to 12 hours of body pain relief per dose, you can keep up with the season's magic and all that awaits. Pick up Aleve and get back to what really matters, making memories. Use as directed.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. I mean, mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that, and third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heat and Air. Right now, breaking news, they're upgrading their offering to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy Home Pros. You hear me talk about them as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement, and now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free free, and they'll give you a second opinion and almost certainly save you money. Oh, but wait, there's more. With winter coming up, how about a free furnace special? With full system installation, you're getting a free furnace, not a discounted furnace, a free furnace, and up to $4,000 in rebates while that funding lasts. So get there right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
The greatest show on dirt returns to Stockton Dirt Track. October 31st and November 1st. It's the 42nd annual tribute to Gary Patterson. 2 nights of all-out racing to the finish, crowning the 2025 champions on dirt. Tickets now at StocktonDirtTrack.com.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140
on Sactown Sports.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. And we are discussing where the Kings are going to go. There are some texts to read through here. 916 says, if the refs keep calling games like last night, it ain't going to matter who we put out there. Yeah, I'm just not. I hear you, but there was some fouling going on. I get it, though. It was a lot. But you have to find a way to make an adjustment. Again, the analogy that I gave, I'm going to keep giving it. You're playing baseball, and the ump is calling that pitch up, right? It's a smidge. It's at your letters. It's a smidge high, or it's a smidge outside. And the pitcher, who is Austin Reaves, just keeps spamming the same spot over and over again. You can try to convince the ump that it's not a strike, or you can say, okay, because here's the thing. The ump told you it was a strike in the 3rd inning. That means you got 6 more innings to figure it out, right? That first quarter, halfway through that first quarter, oh, okay. When they called that weird 3 on Gabe Vincent, which was Gabe Vincent's only points that night, last night, when they called that weird 3 on Gabe Vincent from however far out from the 3-point line, oh, it's one of those nights. 3rd inning. You knew that, okay, that's what we're on, right? So you make a decision. You there are a couple things you can do as a coach in those decisions. You can make a heavy adjustment. You can get kicked out and try to make a stand that way. There are a couple things that you can do, and they attempted to make adjustments. They put other guys. They ran a blitz once, maybe twice, but they did not commit to anything, and they just had no answer for it.
Yeah, I think there's a difference here because everyone's pointing to the free throw discrepancy, and that's kind of the one that's crazy. 46 for the Lakers. I looked it up. Since 2000, that's tied for the second most. Even the Lakers, who get all the calls, have ever shot. And I don't say that just facetiously. There's actual data that says the Lakers get more calls than anyone else. But if you look at the fouls themselves, the Kings committed 26 fouls in the game. If I asked you just last year, how many times do you think the Kings committed 26 or more fouls in regulation, not overtime?
Yeah. Who knows?
It's 5 times. So it's not super egregious like the whistle that was going against them.
Right.
Like it's a lot of fouls.
But it's not like they haven't done this since 2012.
Yeah, the free throws, yes, that's like records we haven't seen in Laker history, or at least recent Laker history. But the fouls themselves, the Kings didn't commit that many. They were just all on Austin Reaves baiting shots.
Yeah,
was
that's
pretty
what
much
he does. He's a grifter. He's a grifter. Somebody else said, Big Lucky G says, why was Malik not in for Keon? Why the bleep is Devin playing ahead of Malik in that situation? Well, Malik has been trying his darndest defensively, but as good as he's been offensively, he's not a lockdown defender, but he has been playing well. We can talk about Keon, but again, we're leaving somebody out, and Westbrook played really well, but there's only so many minutes you can give to all these guards, right? So I'm not going to sit here and have a conversation about Devin Carter's 3 minutes. And now he was a -6 in 3 minutes, and 2 fouls. So I hear you, but
and took like the most blatant charging foul ever. Like Austin Reaves was standing there for like 2 seconds, and he just kept barreling through. Like just hit a floater. Like you had enough time to stop and hit a floater. He just barreled through Austin Reaves.
No, so you had that, and then from the Keon perspective, but again, this is less about Keon to me, and this is what we talked about at the roundtable. Where are we getting these minutes from? Russell Westbrook played 27, and I know some of it wasn't at the point guard position because they're running 3 guards out there, but Russell Westbrook played 27 minutes. So between that and Keon only played 18, and Malik played 24. I guess you could give him more, but and Keon, it was in foul trouble, so it wasn't really Keon over Malik. They were just trying to find a way to slow Austin Reaves down without blitzing, and they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it.
I think the point for me with Reaves, and I know this has been mentioned before on other shows and a little bit here, which is like when you try 7 different things and none of them work, you're just a bad defense. Like if you try, and I saw this at some point, if you try Schroeder on him, you try Westbrook on him, you try Levine on him, you've tried DeRozan, you've tried Keon Ellis, you've tried Malik Monk, you've tried to blitz. They ran a zone. In the fourth quarter, they ran a zone defense on Austin Reaves. I couldn't believe it. They tried to run a zone defense. If you've tried all of that, you just suck on defense. That's the simplest way I can phrase it.
Yeah, and Michael Scotto had this to say because obviously there was this whole thing going on about Austin Reaves and his contract situation. So after that ball's out, Michael Scotto says, Austin Reaves, 51 points, 11 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals, a +22 in tonight's Laker game without LeBron and Luka. Reaves will be among the top 2026 unrestricted free agents after he declines his he didn't say measly, I did, $14.9 million player option. Yeah, the Lakers, they got a good deal on him the last couple years. I don't know if Austin Reaves is not the conversation for today, but I know LeBron will probably be gone, but yeah, somebody's gonna cash. Austin Reaves needs to take out the when he gets cashed out, some of that money should go back to the Sacramento Kings program. Some of that should go back to the Sacramento Kings organization for making him look so good in a situation with no Luka and no LeBron, because somebody's going to give him a stupid amount of money.
Austin Reaves, get ready to speak Washington Wizards, buddy, because the Wizards are going to offer you a 3-year, $120 contract.
Yep.
Good luck to you, Austin Reaves.
After Desmond Bane forgets how to shoot, because everybody forgets how to shoot in Orlando, they will trade Desmond Bane and then try again with Austin Reaves, bringing in another guard to help. Because Paolo Banchero, the word on the street is that he's regressing and that Franz is better than him at this point. So
Jesus, who's saying that? That's crazy.
That's just the talk of the town.
If I told you Memphis gave Austin Reaves the same Desmond Bane contract, you'd say that's a win for Memphis.
That's the one. That is the one.
If Memphis traded Bane for all those picks and then just gave Austin Reaves that money.
Get ready to speak IG Live, Austin Reaves, with one Ja Morant. 916-339-1140. Oh, it's that Will. Okay, our number one Will is on the line, or I just say that based on how he calls, but I don't know what Will's going to tell me today. What's up, Will? What you got for us?
That's right, man. Somebody was impersonating me, man.
No, they weren't impersonating you because they were being nice to me, Will. So I knew it wasn't you.
I said I better call because I got to get Cal. Cal, you got to lay off Russ when he's producing, man. Just leave the bed alone. Leave him alone. But here's the problem with the Kings.
Bad second half.
They just don't have the size, man. We just have to be honest. They need athletic bigs. A couple of times, Ayton dunked on Domas. Domas, look, it's not a criticism of Domas. He's limited. He's not athletic. I mean, I know. Cal always have to, always point out he's the best player on the team. Blah blah blah. Maybe he was, but he's kind of slowing down on the athletic side. He fumbles the ball. He gets dunked on. He's just not in today's NBA. He needs help.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for the call, Will. Great stuff. And shout out to all the Wills that call in, by the way. You're all number one to me.
Can we get a third one?
Yeah, let's just keep all the Wills calling in. Here's the thing that I'll say, and here's the issue. To Will's point, this is kind of crazy to look at. An ascending contract, 29 years old, okay? 42 mil, 42.3 this season. I'm not trying to pocket watch. 42.3. Next season when he turns 30, 45.4. Season after that, at 31, $48.6 million. That's what it is. So the whole slowdown thing, here's where I'm getting with Domas. And I'll get more into this in the 12 o'clock hour. It's getting to a point where you either have to trade him and maybe you don't get everything back for him, or you have to use some of your assets and put Domas in a better position. Or you have to go out, say, here you go, Memphis. Because you don't want him to ask out because then you'll definitely lose value, right? So here you go, Memphis. Here's 2 first-rounders, 3 first-rounders for Jaren Jackson. We know that this is what Domas needs. Here you go, Memphis. Let's just do it, right? Lauri Markkanen, who now Brendan showed me something. It was Lauri Markkanen to the Spurs. Brendan showed me that, the conversation that's being had out there in San Antonio. They really just want to get rid of De'Aaron Fox. I mean, the fans, they don't want De'Aaron. He's never on any of the graphics. I feel bad for my boy, De'Aaron Fox.
You better stop that right now.
My boy, De'Aaron. I feel bad for him, but that's separate. Go get Lauri Markkanen.
I mean, it doesn't really matter.
And overpay for him to either do that or find a way to move off of him. But you're not putting him in a good position. We're not there because, look, they could figure it out tomorrow against the Thunder, and I'll say, okay, let's rock and roll. But right now, they are not putting Domantas Sabonis in a position to win, and you do have assets, so they need to decide, do you want to have a conversation with him? Do you want him to just ask out? What do you want to do with Domantas Sabonis? We will keep that conversation going. We also have our pie chart we want to get to as well as fixing the starting 5. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khdk.com.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy a personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, max out your savings. The more you buy, the more you save on beds, bases, and more. Plus, get free home delivery on any smart bed with base. Limited time. Check it out at a Sleep Number store near you or at sleepnumber.com today.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Charlie's battery is struggling to start. Not ideal before the tailgate, so he goes to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where friendly AutoZoner tests his battery for free. Looks like he needs a new one, so he gets a Duralast battery.
Have fun and stay warm.
And he makes it to the tailgate early enough to get his favorite spot. Free battery testing and charging. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
When the chill in the air sends shivers down your spine, don't let your home turn into a haunted house. Keep things cozy and safe with Maverick Electric, your local family-owned team you can trust. Maverick Electric cares about the families they serve because they're part of this community too. So before the real chill sets in, schedule your seasonal tune-up. Visit MavericKelectricalServices.com and let their family keep yours warm and beautiful this Halloween season.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
KHD HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
And we are, trying to find some positives here with what the Kings have done. Obviously, it's not terribly easy, but it's still early, even though somebody just said, I don't want to hear anyone saying, this is from the 916, I don't want to hear anyone saying from Kimberly, it's just 3 games. This is a continuation of last season and preseason. Like you say, use the eye test. Yeah, the eye test is not great, Kimberly. It is not great.
I mean, they're one putback away from being 0-3.
Yeah.
With a loss to the Jazz.
Yeah. That is the craziest thing. Let's talk about the Jazz game for a second, because obviously the Laker game is the talk of the town and the fouls, things like that. The Jazz game was weird because watching Domantas Sabonis, it definitely felt like they were trying to ease him back into it. Then I looked at the box score, and he played 37 minutes, but it still felt like a very weird 37 minutes. He just wasn't terribly, he didn't have a bad game, and that's why I'm starting to worry about how he's being used versus whether or not they were just kind of warming him up from the hammy, even though it's only a couple games in. That was his first game, and then you had the game last night. So that's something that is an issue to me. The pie chart, and again, it's not a loss. You beat the Jazz, and trust me, you got to take the wins for the wins, no matter how they look. But the pie chart to me in this 1-2 record, as far as the blame, the emphasis on the 2 and how it was a close matchup. But the Jazz don't know they're bad yet, right? And they got some young pieces. So I was okay with the Jazz game being close. It is what it is.
The Jazz will never be healthier because soon they're going to start sitting everybody down.
Oh, yeah. No. Then they're about to start popping up in about a month here.
They're not at the point yet where they're sitting down the veterans in fourth quarters of close games.
So that one, you got your W. I'm not going to argue about the fact, even though, yeah, they could have lost, they didn't. So the Jazz game, to me, it is what it is. But these 2 losses, one being the first game of the season, you didn't have Domantas Sabonis, and the second game you did, and you won, and the third game you got Austin Reaves. That's what happened. So to me, the pie chart, obviously, I will say the vets, the players / the vets, they're going to have to get about 60% of this. That's just how I get down. I'll say 50%. 50% goes to the players, because of who they lost to and how they lost. And then, Kyle, and I know you're the math guy, I would say if that's at 50, I'll probably go 30 to the coaching staff. That feels right. Could be more, but it is what it is. I might even go 20 to the coaching staff, and then I'll give 30 to roster construction. And some people might give more to the roster construction.
Do injuries fall under roster construction?
Yeah.
Or do you want to do that as a separate?
But I don't even want to do that because they were up 20 against the Suns.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
And they should have beat. And no, I can't do it because they were up 20 against the Suns, no Jalen Green, and no Keegan against the Lakers, but no Luka and LeBron. So I'm not doing injuries.
But no Keegan or Neek. And Zach LaVine had whatever.
Kyle. No Keegan or Neek. Keegan, I'll give. Neek played about one game in the NBA.
Played 24 minutes.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that, Kyle.
Neek has still more minutes. Let me pull it back up again. Neek has still played more minutes so far than Isaac Jones and Maxime Reynaud.
And Isaac started a game.
Yeah. And Dylan Cardwell, well, Isaac was sick one game. Don't forget. Again, injuries, Allen. The flu that's going around that locker room. Isaac was out.
Oh, yeah, no. I'd say it's staying away from all that.
Zach LaVine, look, dude, Zach LaVine should get more credit. He had an illness, and his flu game, he dropped 32 points.
He did.
With no assists, which would be more, I think, talked about if not for A, Austin Reaves putting up 51, 10, and 9, and B, Cam Thomas having 40 points and 0 assists for Brooklyn.
You know why I'm here. I'm here to shoot the rock. I'm not here to pass the rock.
And they gave him a qualifying offer.
Yeah, so I'm going to go, the roster construction probably deserves more than the players. So I'll say, what did I say? 40% to the players.
So 40, 30, 30?
Yeah.
Or were coaches 20?
No, I think that feels right. 40, 30, and 30.
All right. I'll go, if those are our categories, I'll go 30 on the players, 30 on the roster construction, 30, 20 to the coaches, 10% to injuries. So what, I have like 10% left? Let's just say the equal opportunity blame. 30 players, 30 coaches, 30 roster construction, 10% injuries.
Okay. That's
just equal blame across the board. Oh, also, of the players, can I just specifically say like 5% signing Russell Westbrook the day before the last preseason game?
And it hasn't looked bad. There have been, it's literally what it has been. Some stretches look incredible. To me, I haven't seen the really, really bad yet.
Are you quick to forget that you were on these airwaves saying, what could Devin Carter have done? Or what could Russell Westbrook have done?
But he didn't play poorly. He just was there.
He was not very good in the Suns game. The Jazz game.
That was his first game. It was his first game. Look at what he did against the Lakers.
Every time he shoots from the top of the key, I'm like, nope.
We got to stop that.
Yeah, before it even goes up, I'm like, nope.
No, we got to stop that.
Corner threes, he hits it.
Yes.
But everything else, he goes up. I'm like, nope, that's not going in.
No, we got to stop that. We got to stop the kind of mid-range flow, jump shot things that keep grazing the rim. We got to stop that.
They also leave him open from three, which I get that nerd NBA people, like, this is where I disagree with my nerd brethren and sisterin. Is that a word? I don't know. Anyways, my nerd folk, I disagree that they say even bad three-point shooters should still shoot it from three every now and again because you want to pull the defense out. Mm-hmm. But with Westbrook, they're like, shoot it all you want. We don't care. Keep shooting it. Westbrook, they're never going to respect Westbrook enough to come out on defense.
Oh, you know what? Folsom Mike on the text line brought something up. Sadly, Sabonis never developed a jumper without that, and he was in his prime 2 years ago. Think about it. Where on the court do you say that's money? You can't leave him. Left block, that's his only spot from Folsom Mike. But last night, he made a quick trigger three. Well, he did slow it down a little bit.
I don't think that was the quick trigger one.
It wasn't the free throw, though.
No, it was not the elongated one.
So he has premiered. I'm okay with this one. He has premiered a new three-pointer where it's in between the free throw three and the quick trigger trying to be in your bag three.
It was not the one that he bricked in the preseason.
No.
Fast.
That one, is gone, hopefully forever.
But it was not the slow. I mean, I didn't notice. I know what you're talking about. I was like, oh, he went back to the slower one. But
it was slower, but it was not last season.
I just never thought to compare it to last season versus now. I just saw it and I was like, well, at least he didn't do the like Steph Curry quick shot off the block.
Yeah. So if somebody said, hey, the hand on the shoulder meme, hey, brother, I think we're good.
But on that one, they left him open.
He's going to be open.
But if he's left open, he doesn't need the quicker release.
That's been my whole point this whole time.
Yeah, exactly. And he went back to the slower one.
Please, I'm begging you.
Yeah, he hit one. We should probably just check in on this right now. What is Schroeder shooting from three?
Yesterday, what was that? 4 of 9? Something it was not good.
Well, 4 of 9 is good.
No. Hold on. Last night, he was 3 of 9 last night.
So 33%.
Yeah,
Let's
3
see.
of 9. Not terrible.
For the season, he is 33%. He's 6 for 18.
Does he need to be taking 9 threes a game, Dennis Schroeder?
I think that math is not mathing. I don't think he's taking 9. Oh, he did last night.
Well, he did last night. That's what I'm saying.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about his
Should he take
average.
9 threes ever?
I think last night was an aberration because, they shot 43 three-pointers.
Let me put it to you like this.
I'm leaning towards no. Whatever
he
you're
took
going to
the same amount of threes as Zach LaVine.
Yeah, no.
And what's crazy, and I get it, no Keegan, so that is something to keep in mind. DeMar took 6.
Yeah. Well, actually, DeMar one I think was
Westbrook took 6, but he made 4.
The DeMar one I think is an anomaly because DeMar's only taken 8 all season. So DeMar had 2 in the first 2 games and then 6 last night. I just think everyone was shooting threes last night. I don't know if they said something before the game. Mm-hmm. Everyone came out chucking threes. I mean, I'm doing quick math in my head here. So in their first 2 games, they shot, 56 three-pointers total, and they shot 43 last night. So they just came out and just started chucking. I don't know if that's just a one-game thing or not, but I feel like last night's hard to kind of gauge who's the three-point shooters.
Yeah, last night in the fourth quarter, they ran a lineup of Schroeder, Westbrook, LaVine, DeRozan, and Sabonis. If I'm not mistaken, that's how they closed out the Jazz game, and everybody felt good because Russ was on Lauri Markkanen and shut that down. That's just not gonna fly most nights.
By the way, Russ, 50% from three-point this year.
No, he's cooking.
Yeah, the corner threes, he hits it. By the way, I still cannot say this enough. 50% from 3, which is second on the team because Malik Monk, who has taken the second most threes on the team, is shooting 63% from the three-point line. Mm-hmm. Malik Monk is killing it.
And obviously, reality will settle in and he'll cool off a little bit. But Malik keeps playing like this, it's really tough. Now, they have to win games, but yeah, when you go back to between Malik playing like that and Russ playing how he played, Keon is not getting to 20 minutes. He's not, and he didn't last night, and he's not going to. If those guys are going to play like that, now I don't know if they're going to play like that every game, but those guys play like that, there's no 20 minutes out there for Keon.
Well, this goes back to that same conversation we were having before, which is, will Dennis Schroeder and Russell Westbrook ever play on the floor at the same time together? We were asking that less than a week ago, and the answer clearly is yes.
Yeah, you didn't think so.
A lot of people didn't. They played if my math is mathing, they played 14 minutes together on the floor yesterday.
And it ain't going. It's an all-vet. Kyle, don't you understand? The experience on the court is unmatched, okay? You got Hall of Famers everywhere. You got vets everywhere. Don't you get it, Kyle?
Yeah, now I'm Googling Kings' fourth quarter point differential. Let's not look at that. They are -9 in fourth quarters with this lineup of, Westbrook, Schroeder, LaVine, DeRozan, Sabonis.
They beat the Jazz, though.
I mean, I guess we've just decided we're just not going to play defense anymore.
But what's funny is you saying that, and that is in my opinion, it is believed that is a more defense-focused lineup, because if it wasn't, Malik Monk would be in there.
Defense-focused lineup. I get it for now, but we were saying, again, a week ago, why would we ever play DeMar DeRozan at the 4? DeMar DeRozan's just going to get cooked at the 4. And I get it when it's
right.
Rui or Vanderbilt, you can get away with it because Vanderbilt can't shoot. but against the
Well, we'll see tomorrow.
Yeah, against Chet and Hartenstein.
Oh.
Against Chet and Hartenstein.
They're going to win tomorrow. Kings are going to win tomorrow.
There's no way.
No, there is a way.
Against Chet and Hartenstein. By the way, Lou Dort. We're not even talking about Lou Dort, which
he's streaky.
Lou Dort. Yeah, I guess you could stick DeRozan on him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Look, man, they're going to win tomorrow.
God,
because that's the most Kings thing ever. They're going to win in OKC.
If DeAndre Ayton is bodying dudes down low, what are Hartenstein and Chet going to do to this team? Oh, my God. It's so sad. But if we're going to go with that direction with the Schroeder and the Westbrook thing, yeah, I guess you're not going to find minutes for Keon because Keon was supposed to alternate with Zach LaVine.
Yeah.
And I saw Zach's the 9th leading scorer in the NBA this year so far, which is kind of funny. But if Zach, Schroeder, and Westbrook are all going to play on the floor at the same time, then yeah, you cannot play Keon Ellis because Keon Ellis can't guard fours.
No, of course not. And I don't know. Westbrook, just the way he plays, he's going to make up for a lot. But there were so many times that the Lakers were trying to feed Ayton because from a switch or whatever in the world happened, Westbrook was guarding Ayton. And a lot of times they were not able to get him the rock, but they were trying to get it to him. So, look, this thing, and again, if you're just now joining us, we're essentially separating the whole tanking conversation because they have told us that this is a team that's going to compete at some level. And early on, I saw somebody else say this or somebody say this on social media about all of the fans and media members drinking the training camp Kool-Aid. I don't know if I was drinking the training camp Kool-Aid. I was drinking the media day Kool-Aid because once training camp happened, obviously, they were doing we want to play with pace. So I think it is all connected. Obviously, I was there for media day, so that's a connection I have to it. I was for sure. I'm not even going to lie to you. I took a sip, and I wanted of the purple media day training camp Kool-Aid, and I wanted to take a sip, and I'm still kind of sipping it. I'm not done sipping it.
You had him going 10-10 in the first 20.
I'm not done sipping it, okay? Now, it doesn't taste as good as it did about a week ago, but I'm telling you, weirder things have happened. They're probably cooked, right? Just from the 10 and 10 perspective. Kyle, the question is now, is 8 and 12 cooked?
I'm not going to say that.
Because 8 and 12, I think that you can hang on.
I think that's closer to reality than some of these other ones.
8 and 12, we can hang on.
I mean, 8 and 12, it sounds like we're saying 8-and, but if they go 8 and 12, that will feel like a win. Given how tough the schedule is, given Keegan being out.
Especially now, where you dropped these first 2 out of 3.
See, I don't know about that because I think they're right about where we felt they could. We said if you look at the first 5 games, they should probably win 2 of them. Maybe they win a third. Mm-hmm. If we expect they'll beat the Bulls, then they're still right in that 2 and 3 treading water territory. So, yes, it sucks that you blew the Laker game and we didn't know that Luka wasn't going to play, but you had a 20-point lead against the Suns. That was they lost to the Lakers, but it was a winnable game. I feel like they're right where experts expected that they would be.
That's true.
Which maybe that means that 34.5 is the actual crash course that they're headed for. But I feel like they're right where people thought they would be, which is they beat the Jazz and they played 2 competitive games against the Suns and Lakers.
We've talked about Malik Monk a little bit as far as how well he's playing and could that excite some teams. Now, will he stay at this pace? Most likely not. I mean, he's shooting 60% from 3. It's incredible. The other person too, though, and this is a conversation that we've had, and we've had it with Keith Smith, and we've had it with others, is Zach LaVine. And Zach LaVine is playing really well to start. He's an absolute bucket getter. We understand what's going on with the contract, but that's somebody else to keep in mind, depending on whether these guys, honestly, whether they're winning or not. Because that's the other piece of this. If Scott Perry is seeing the forest through the trees, if Scott Perry feels like that, then even if the Kings are messing around in the 9 seed, right, and a couple maybe could get up to the 8 seed, whatever it is, we don't know. Scott Perry could still say, yeah, we're moving on from Zach LaVine because last time I checked, 9 seeds don't win a championship. And that's what I think they're trying to do. So they don't have to be terrible if Zach LaVine is cooking for Scott Perry to at least take calls. If he keeps playing like this, and even if they are better, and if they're sitting, 8, they probably wouldn't just because they'd be so close. But 9, 10, kind of chasing that 8 seed, I don't know how Scott Perry would approach it, but there is definitely a world where that's still a position. Being in the play-in should not make you being in the play-in should not mean that you're not selling. That's what people want to. That's why they created the play-in. But in a real world with real expectations, being in the play-in, especially, being in the 9-10 should not stop anybody from selling.
Yeah, well, this was the point that Dave was making all throughout the summer, and I think even in your most pessimistic, you made this point too during the hundreds of hours we've talked on the radio. But if Zach LaVine averages 28 to 30 points per game on efficient numbers, he will make the All-Star team in the West. Mm-hmm. Whether the Kings have a good record or bad record, Zach LaVine will be an All-Star. Now,
especially, not to cut you off, Kyle, but just with some of the injuries that we've seen.
Yeah, exactly. Like that is All-Star level numbers. And Dave was making the point this season should be about get Zach LaVine the run, just let him chuck, and see if a team will trade for him and that year and a half of the contract for some sort of future asset. And if Zach does that well and they're hovering around 500 come January, I think that's the course they probably should take. I think they would have to be like a 6 or a 7 to really deter themselves from really giving up on that Zach LaVine experiment, especially when, like, right now, I mentioned Zach LaVine's the 9th leading scorer in the NBA, and the team is shooting 41% from the three-point line. Like, Zach might be a great three-point shooter, but their three-point shooting's been excellent as a team so far.
Yeah, and obviously 3 games, so you get a great game from Russ at the three-point line. Everything's going to fluctuate a ton, so that's something to keep in mind. And the conversation with Keith Smith of Spot Track was if somebody wanted Zach LaVine, they could get him do the Kyrie thing where he declines and then extends for 3 more years, whatever it is, which he doesn't have to do. But it's if he wants to know, the reason I would do it if I'm Zach LaVine, and maybe Zach LaVine is turning into a Schroeder type where he's going to be more of that assassin and gets traded around. But Zach LaVine wants a home, and he's said that as much. Maybe anybody saying, well, Allen, why would Zach LaVine turn down the 48, 49 million, whatever it is, if he says, hey, well, I'm going to get a 3-4 year deal, and, it's somebody that truly, truly wants to build with me because it isn't a ridiculous contract anymore, even though, he said to Carmichael Dave, he thinks he should get paid more, which was hilarious. You got to check that out on YouTube. But you could get him out at 35, whatever a year, and let him be a second, third option, and he just gets to chill and set up shop for the next 4 years. So that's why he could do that versus, if he takes that year with the Kings, maybe you're only looking at a 2-year deal after that or something of that ilk.
So, I don't think I make too much money. I think I get paid more.
Thank you, Zach LaVine. And that's how you should feel. I think we all
don't think I make too much money.
We should all feel like that, by the way. So those are some of the avenues that the Kings can take. But the reality is you got to win. You got to win games for this stuff to matter. And I know a lot of people want to have the tanking conversation. It's just it's one of those things to me that's just going to take care of itself. It's simply going to take care of itself.
It's going to be pretty obvious when the time comes where it's like, okay, this thing is over.
I guess that's the question, though. What if it is obvious to everyone else and they don't do it? That, my friends, is where this thing could get sticky. But,
that's where people are going to stop showing up.
Yes, that's where this thing could get sticky, but we are not there yet, and you never know what could happen. Let's keep the conversation going. It's not all doom and gloom. The Kings just have to give the fans a reason to not be doom and gloom. More of your calls, more of your texts, more of your Sac Chat. Don't move. More Allen Stiles coming up.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
With Progressive's collision coverage, my family gets up to $1,000 for vet bills if I'm injured in a car accident. And that makes this Chihuahua really feel like part of the family. What's that? I don't sound like a Chihuahua? Oh, I'm sorry. What exactly am I supposed to sound like? I guess all Chihuahuas are high-strung, riding around in expensive designer purses. Actually, I prefer riding in cars. So I appreciate that my family protects me with Progressive's pet collision coverage. Okay, maybe I am a little high-strung. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
Not all rooftops are created equal. Revival at the Sawyer isn't just above the city, it's above the rest. Think DJs, live beats, a crowd that's always in the know, and views that make Golden One Center look like it's in your backyard. It's the rooftop Sacramento can't stop talking about. Revival, an experience that's anything but ordinary. Whether it's game night, date night, or just your night, Revival is where memories get made and the city feels alive. One rooftop, endless stories. Book your reservation at revivalsacramento.com.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
Ready to pregame for your next big arena event? Head to Beach Hut Deli, a Sacramento tradition for over 40 years where aloha is served daily. Located just steps from the arena, whether it's game day or a concert night, it's the perfect spot to gather with friends and enjoy amazing sandwiches. Planning a bigger get-together? Beach Hut Deli offers endless catering options to bring those fresh, delicious flavors to your next party or event. Beach Hut Deli. Good vibes, great food, and epic times await.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. And there are a lot of directions that we can go, okay? Of course, conversation. Somebody said, I don't know if this is confirmed or not, if this was on social media, but somebody said Levine was golfing with Austin Reaves, so they do not at a country club in El Dorado Hills. So they don't feel bad for Zach Levine. Well, I don't think Zach Levine feels bad for Zach Levine, and I'm not saying that in any type of
I
way.
don't think I make.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I think I get paid more.
I don't think Zach Levine. You need to feel bad for Zach Levine.
Man, you love that sound so much.
No. I didn't ask for that. I just said somebody said I don't feel bad for Zach Levine. It says Zach Levine golfed all Saturday with Reaves, and the country club's in El Dorado, but no free promotion here unless I feel like it. Then they say I don't feel bad for him. I don't think he needs you to feel bad for him. That's all I'm saying.
Sure.
There's a couple reasons why. Just a couple million reasons.
About 47, which is
that's it.
Which is less than what Austin Reaves scored.
Yeah, that's right. 916-339-1140. Let's get to Sam, who wants to be part of the conversation. What's up, Sam? What you got for us?
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Well, I think the most glaring problem, I've been to all the games, the most glaring problem is the rebounding disparity.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's going to be solved right now. I think it's only going to get worse because we're getting out-rebounded by at least 15 rebounds a night. And the only rebound we have is Sabonis. He's down the middle. He's getting pounded on both ends of the court. And Eubanks, he's ineffective. And guess what? We've got the ghost of Cosinator back and the other guy.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for the call, Sam. Last night it was only 7. I know with the Jazz it was a bad one. Last night it was a 47 for the Lakers and 40 for the Kings. But it is going to be something that continues to pop up. And you figure Sabonis had, 14 himself? Sabonis had 14 by himself.
And right? He had to sit a bunch because of foul trouble.
And he had to sit a bunch. Now, DeAndre Ayton did have 15. So they were both just doing work. Austin Reaves had 11 rebounds?
No, I thought it was 10.
No, he had 10 defensive rebounds, 1 offensive rebound. He had 11 rebounds, 9 assists, 51 points.
So he had 51, 11, and 9.
Yes.
Jesus. That will never, I know we have a few moments every year where we're just like, oh, that defined the season. Them giving up 51, 11, and 9 to Austin Reaves is just never going to be unbelievable. Which, by the way, when people talk about player development and systems like that, everyone's got their case for a Keon Ellis or a Gabe Vincent, like a scrappy role player. The fact that this dude was undrafted and is now a legitimate $40 million a year player in the NBA. He is the S tier of player development for an organization that usually does not do player development.
Yeah, he's gonna be he's doing the he's about to get his Fred VanVleet bag. That's what he's about to get his Fred VanVleet bag.
From the Washington Wizards.
Yeah, it's time. It's time. And good for him. They couldn't stop him. To Sam's point, against the Jazz, who obviously Domantas Sabonis didn't play, it was 33-50. They got out-rebounded. 33-50. Now, you figure Domantas Sabonis is playing that game, give him 10, right? And same idea, it's 43-50 instead of 33-50, but it's a problem. There's just too much on Domantas. Domantas Sabonis is just too important in certain ways, but doesn't give you enough in others. That's kind of where I'm at with Domantas Sabonis. You need him for the rebounding, and you need him for the size that you do have. But in the other ways where, offensively he can be a bit limited, and playmaking, he's just not being asked to do it right now. It's just weird. It's just off.
They have never surrounded Domantas Sabonis with a shot blocking big or tall. It doesn't have to be a true center, but someone who can shot block and also spread the floor is the type of player that Domantas Sabonis should be paired with in the front court. And the Kings have never done that at any point in this time. And when they moved on from Harrison Barnes, they kind of went in the other direction in the sense of we're actually going to get smaller and do less floor spacing around Sabonis, which I understood why they did it at the time. What DeRozan brought you on offense was something that Harrison Barnes did not have, and at the time they felt Keegan Murray was not going to be able to give them. So I understand why they did it, but it's never been to the strength of DeMontis. They've never got a player that complements Domantas Sabonis's weaknesses at the big position. Yeah. That could have been Khalil Ware. That could have been, I guess now Walker Kessler, because he can shoot threes, which he hit those two and never shot another one.
Oh, he was so bad on Friday. Yeah. He was awful. He kind of got benched that game.
Yeah, no, he was pretty bad. You just put a beefy boy on him and he just had nothing.
Tired. He looked terrible, man.
Yeah, but anyways, they never went that direction, and they've had tremendous success, I'd say, for 2 years of the 4 that Sabonis has been here. So, it's hard to go against it. But ever since they moved on from Harrison Barnes, they just haven't had any kind of big to complement Domantas Sabonis. Harrison Barnes ain't even that big.
Yeah, I'm looking at the just the initial breakdown, Kyle, of where Domantas Sabonis is and where the Kings can kind of go from here. And I think the reality is they're just missing pieces a little bit, right? They're just missing pieces, and there's just a decision that they're going to have to make, and I don't know if they're going to have the time to do it, right? They're trying to do multiple things at one time, and it's not working. It's not working.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still, like I said, it's still early. Don't get me wrong. It's still early, but these are the same conversations that we've had. So, this is what I've said. You can decide to add on and try to give Domantas Sabonis what he needs, or you can say, hey, I think we're just going to let you fly, even because I don't think he wants to go.
No.
But that might not be the conversation. And let me give you this one. I know the money, you'd have to make the money work, and we've talked about this before. But could the Rockets, I know that I just sent it to you, Kyle. The Rockets are, with point guard, this is from Kelly Iko of Yahoo Sports, with point guard Fred VanVleet currently sidelined with the torn right ACL, the Houston Rockets plan to file a disabled players exemption. Under the current CBA, the exemption would be equivalent to 50% of Fred VanVleet's $25 million salary. So, of course, everybody is saying, well, what can the Rockets do with this? And not to get too in the weeds, let's just play the game, right? And somebody is saying it would be around $12 million, something like that. And again, this stuff gets super confusing. But let's just play the game and said they could get Malik Monk. Do you think with the combination of ball handling with Kevin Durant, and then you add in, guys that can do a little, Amen Thompson can do a little something with it, do you think the Rockets would be more interested in Malik Monk or Dennis Schroeder? I feel like the easy answer would be Dennis Schroeder, but if you don't think you need that extremely traditional point guard play, I could see the Rockets saying, I think we could do some things with Malik, and just that would be enough. We would have enough.
I still think it's Schroeder.
Yeah.
If I had to pick one, I still think they would go with Schroeder. But if they have to trade Tari Eason for either one, that's a tough conversation they got to have, because Dennis Schroeder is a low upside acquisition, right? We know what Dennis Schroeder is in this league. He's only got 2 years on his deal, versus Tari Eason. They allegedly offered him $100 million, but it wasn't all guaranteed, so it's not really a $100 million offer if it's not guaranteed.
75 with an, I don't know,
a team option or something. I don't know. But I just look at that situation for the Rockets, and I'd say just let's keep chugging along and see if we can make this work. Like, the Rockets are in an advantageous position where they have enough talent that it's not going to matter.
But they're going to need someone. They are going to need someone.
They're going to need to be buyers at the deadline, but I don't know exactly what it is that they need yet.
Or do you just go get Landry? Can you get Landry?
Shamet?
Yeah. And who's the other one? He has the weird left-handed jump shot.
Campaign?
Go get Campaign.
Did you see that crazy story over the weekend? That Campaign was offered a contract to go to Spain and he said no thank you?
Because he's waiting for the Rockets.
Yes, he's waiting for someone to go out there and get it, which, by the way, this wouldn't happen until like December because the Rockets are at the cap number right now. But yeah, I mean, I know Fred VanVleet is the captain on the team, but at a certain point, do you look up and say, we got to use VanVleet's money to try and acquire somebody?
Depends where they're at, right? I mean, they signed KD to a couple more years. So, yeah, from the Kings' point of view, there have been – people have talked about Keon Ellis to the Rockets. People have talked about Malik Monk to the Rockets. People have talked about – now, Keon, that's interesting with Tari because they both are due for a new contract. So that would be pretty simple. I think it is pretty close, to be honest with you, between how Tari is viewed and how Keon is viewed. But Tari's a bigger person, and that is a big deal. Not always, but specifically now. So it might be, might have to be Keon in some second round or whatever it is. I don't know. Who do you think is viewed more highly in NBA spaces, Kyle? Tari Eason or Keon Ellis?
Tari Eason.
I don't think it's by a lot, though.
I don't think it's by a lot, but I think Tari Eason will get a bigger contract than Keon Ellis.
Yeah.
Which tells me that either by age or whatever else, he is seen more favorably than Keon Ellis.
Yeah. Yeah, Keon would be hoping to get to 20 a year, and apparently, we don't know what the details were, but apparently Tari did get offered $100 million, but it wasn't $100 million guaranteed. And again, if it was a player option, then that's still guaranteed to him because he can always opt in. So some level of 4 year or 3 years with a 4-year option, whatever team option, whatever that looked like, incentive laden, whatever that looked like, Keon is not getting $100 million.
Well, unless Keon can start blocking shots.
Well, he's got to play. And he's not even playing 20 minutes.
Yeah, there's also that part.
Yeah, he's also got to play. So that's part of it as well. Maybe they just hoard, there's that word again, maybe they just hoard Keon and tick him off because he isn't able to play, and then they move on from Westbrook and all the vets at the end of the season, and then you've already destroyed Keon's value, so then you can sign him. It's like a Josh Giddey cousin. And then you sign Keon for $13 million a year.
So we're going to destroy his value, but also offer him more money than anyone else in free agency.
Boom.
Because the problem with $13 million specifically, and we don't have to get into the weeds on it right now, but you kind of want his value to be high. If you want to re-sign him, you want his value to go up, but not lower than like whatever the mid-level exception is.
Yeah.
Because if it's lower than 14 point whatever the mid-level exception is going to be, then everyone can go after Keon Ellis because everyone who's not in the apron is going to have a mid-level exception. So you want his contract to go down, but not so low that it's the mid-level exception because then more teams can get him.
Look, we're not talking about tanking. But if we were to talk about tanking, we'd have to talk about how all three of these dudes are balling in college right now. Let's run the tankathon when we return, and we'll tell you about the top 3 picks. They are not letting anybody down right now. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heat and Air. Right now, breaking news, they're upgrading their offering to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy Home Pros. You hear me talk about them as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement, and now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free, and they'll give you a second opinion and almost certainly save you money. Oh, but wait, there's more. With winter coming up, how about a free furnace special? With full system installation, you're getting a free furnace, not a discounted furnace, a free furnace, and up to $4,000 in rebates while that funding lasts. So get there right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Just announced, Stockton Honda has been named #1 of California's best car dealers in 2025 by USA Today and Statista. This prestigious award is based on thousands of customer reviews and recommendations, ranking dealerships for service, value, and satisfaction. Out of hundreds evaluated, Stockton Honda is proud to be #1, recognized for all-around excellence and commitment to our customers. Visit Stockton Honda, where reputation meets the road.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
The holidays can be a time of increased stress for those struggling with opioid or stimulant addiction. They can also be a time for pause, reflection, opportunity, and new beginnings. This holiday season, choose treatment and recovery. Embrace the company of family and friends and create special moments. Find a proven opioid or stimulant addiction treatment provider near you at choosechangeca.org.
Listen to the 49ers Red Zone Report daily, brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza, the official pizza of the 49ers. Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. And we keep trying to tell y'all, I'm not saying to tank, but this would be the year to do it. Okay, right now the Kings at 1-2 are sitting in that 10th slot, by the way, because now there are a couple 0-3. And you know who's 0-3, by the way? This is what they do. This is how you correctly use a leap year, if you will, or a gap year. The Warriors did it. They still screwed it up because they did not draft guys that can play basketball. I mean, Jonathan Kuminga is doing his thing, and Moses Moody, but
right process, bad results.
Right. The Warriors did it. Now you have two teams. You want to guess who are the two of the three Eastern Conference teams that are 0-3, Kyle?
I'm guessing one is the Boston Celtics.
Kyle, that is correct.
Okay.
You want to guess the second one?
Based on the way you've set this up, I'm going to guess the Indiana Pacers.
That is correct. That is correct. Both of them are saying there's an understanding. There is an understanding. Now, look, obviously, neither of these teams, the Pacers took the Thunder to 2 overtimes. These teams are not going to finish bad enough, I don't think. But it does speak to a process.
Yeah, I guess you're technically right. Although the Pacers one is like, not only is Tyrese Halliburton out, they are also without McConnell.
No, they might actually do it. The Celtics won't be able to do it.
The Pacers are just catastrophically injured. So they lost to Minnesota yesterday. This was their starting lineup. Ben Shepherd, Aaron Nesmith, Jay Huff, Pascal Siakam, Isaiah Jackson.
And you know what's going to happen, Kyle, mysteriously? Pretty soon, I don't know, 50 games in. Just wait. 50 games in, all of a sudden, Pascal Siakam just going to have something happen.
Also, I cannot believe this is the team that ended up in the finals last year. They had got 27 minutes yesterday from some guy named Ray J. Dennis. That team was in Game 7 of the finals.
Well, maybe not Ray J. Maybe he wasn't on the squad.
No, but this team was in Game 7 of the finals.
This is how you do it. You restart.
27 minutes from
And
Ray
just
J.
watch.
Dennis. Jesus.
Pascal Siakam. Now, obviously, I'm not saying he'll actually be injured, but 50 games in.
A little $100,000 fine.
Yep. Wear it. Who cares? 50 games in, a back, a toe, something like that.
Who needs Miles Turner when you got AJ DeBansa?
Yeah. And with that being said, let's run it. Don't like this. Ho-ho!
Where did they start this time?
They were 10th.
So the same spot. Okay.
They were 9th. They dropped down. Or they were 8th. They were 8th.
They were 8th all summer, and
Yeah.
now they're in 10th.
Now they're in 10th. Kyle, they jumped up 8. First try, no funny business. With the second pick in the NBA draft, the Kings select.
Boozer has some space, going to fire a three.
Wow.
Yep. His second of the game.
Wow. I can't believe we did it.
Boozer time.
It is time. So these guys are out of their minds right now. Cam Boozer, Carlos is his daddy. Cam Boozer, 24 points. 20. You talk about, wait, who was that? Sam on the phone line? Sam, if you're still listening, buddy, can I interest you?
You want to talk rebounding?
You want to talk rebounding, Sam? Can I interest you in 24 points, 23 rebounds? No. Against another Division I team. Okay? 23 rebounds. That's what we're doing.
I mean, wasn't it UCF?
That's what we're doing. No, you're tripping.
Is this a different game?
No, brother. You are disrespecting Tony Vitello and Drew Gilbert. This was against number 18 ranked, and I'm tripping on these exhibition games. I don't know if this has always been a thing. It feels like we're seeing a lot more of them this year.
Yeah, they're in some other country, I'm guessing.
No, this is on UT's floor.
Oh, okay.
Exhibition game against number 18 ranked University of Tennessee. 24 points, 23 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 blocks.
Huh? I mean, when anyone can do that against a Rick Barnes team, I mean.
And if darn, Kings got the second pick as we just ran it. Well, they decided to take Cam Boozer. Okay. Well, AJ DeBansa, can we interest you in AJ DeBansa? He went for 37-3 out of BYU. He's been balling. Let's say they drop a bit. Oh, no. They dropped a bit. And it's going to be a problem. Now they got the third pick. Well, let's go with Darren Peterson. 24 points, 6 of 9 from three-point land, 8 of 11 from the field.
Oh, that's pretty good. Is that a whole game?
That was in the first half.
What? The first half?
Against number 11 Louisville. Okay?
Wow.
Somebody said, wow, he just locked down someone said, first overall pick. Somebody else said, this could be the most entertaining battle for first overall pick we've seen in years.
I also think that Kevin O'Connor was speaking directly to us when he had a tweet that was like, man, I feel bad for the play-in team that accidentally makes the playoffs this year. I would want a shot at the top pick. And I'm like, that is speaking directly to our soul.
Look, man, I don't know. And I'll take the revenue. Not that it's going in my pocket, but in
a roundabout way.
Yeah, as a whole, I will take the Kings making the playoffs any day of the week. But this might be the one year the non-tanker Kings fans, if they're keeping up with all this might be the year where they say, all right, don't make it this year, right? Is this the one year? Because the last couple years, obviously 2 years ago, that draft was supposed to be basuda. It was supposed to be trash.
You won the lottery you didn't want to win.
Yeah, this past year, it was, get Cooper or whatever, right? Ace Bailey, no disrespect.
But wasn't the 2-pick Dylan?
And by the way, did Ace Bailey, I know I'm being sarcastic, but did he play?
Not really. I mean, he played
what's going
15
on there?
minutes.
He's too short? They won't let him play?
Oh, Filipowski's killing it.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know what to do with that one.
I mean, obviously he's getting started, but you look at what Cooper is doing. Ace Bailey can't even get. Are they just doing the thing? It's hey, let's give the vets, even though they stink, some respect, and then we'll start Ace Bailey about 20 games into the season.
Since when is Filipowski a vet? He's like 22.
Well, he's older. He's got more experience.
Filipowski is 21.
No, they might have to run both of them. You're not sitting Filipowski.
That I assume not.
You got to sit somebody though.
How did?
Well, what's his name? Hendricks.
How did Filipowski play 2 years at Duke and is still 21? How did we allow that to happen?
So this is what it is, man. I'm not saying to do it, but if you were going to do it, this is for sure the year to do it.
If anyone wants some more proof about is going for the number 1 pick worth it? Look, I say this point. The best way to get the number 1 pick is to be in the lottery 5 years in a row. It's trying to do it for 1 year is not great. But I will make this point for people who maybe want to go in that direction. Western Conference Player of the Week for the first week of the season. You want to guess who it is?
Is it Cooper?
It is not Cooper. With 33.5 points. So in 3 games, 100 points, 40 rebounds, and 6 blocks per game. Victor Wembanyama is Wemby is here, and it only took 2 years.
Yeah.
If you get lucky, which is a big if, but this year might be better than other years because there's 3 of these guys.
There's 3 of them.
There's 3 of them that people think are going to be good. If you get to the top, it just might turn around faster than you think because you might get a guy who in 1 week scores 100 points, grabs 40 rebounds, and blocks 18 shots.
Wow. I mean, and again, I'm not trying to I'm obviously, if you say, hey, we're tanking, nobody wants anybody to tune out, right? You can do it in a couple different ways. I mean, we saw, Kyle, you've been on top of this with the flattened odds. It doesn't have to be a terrible season. You got to get lucky either way. It doesn't have to be a terrible season. A terrible season can help, but it doesn't have to be a terrible season. I don't think it's as much. I think there's nothing wrong with giving it a go as much as you can give it a go until the trade deadline. Nobody is saying to fry this thing in December. Nobody is saying to sell this thing in November, in December, and even early January. We just have to look and see what reality is telling us. And if reality is telling you what to do, these other teams, they have made conscious decisions and they've worn it. The Jazz have worn it, right? All right, Pascal Siakam, his finger hurts a little bit. Does it really hurt? I don't know. Lauri Markkanen, I don't even know what the hell is wrong with him. He's just not playing. If we're going to get fined, we don't care.
But the Jazz might end up being better than people think this year.
That too.
Now, maybe that's the difference between 30 wins and 20 wins, but it seems like the Jazz might be trending in a more positive. It doesn't feel like they're going down, at least at this point.
That too. So we'll keep the conversation going. We are going to get to some NFL as well, as the Raiders literally can't help themselves. They absolutely cannot help themselves. We'll talk about the Niners getting handled by the Texans and the Colts. They're actually doing it. And some sad news when it comes to local guy Cam Scatterboo and what happened to his ankle. We still got some Kings talk we want to get to as well. Keep the conversation going. 916-339-1140. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
The Drive Guys, weekdays 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
on Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The deals are on now at the model year-end sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save on year-end models and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
When I was a kid, I remember my dad, a lineman, leaving in the middle of the night. Families were depending on him to get their power back on to keep them safe and warm. Watching him taught me that this work isn't just about wires and circuits. It's about people and the trust they place in us when the lights go out. That's why I started Maverick Electric Heating and Air, to carry on that same promise of showing up, doing it right, and protecting families when they need us most. Visit callamaverick.com.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. Offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
KHD-KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports, 1140. Your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
Kings will get a chance to cleanse their palate with the Thunder tomorrow, and we will have all of that info for you as they are going to look to get back on side of the winning side of things, and it ain't going to be easy. I will have more of a breakdown on who's available, who's not available. Obviously, Kyle, and it didn't matter last season, but still no Jalen Williams. I'm pretty sure about that.
I assume so. He hasn't been, I think, even practicing yet, but
yeah.
We can.
So that did not matter last season. As the Kings never saw the Thunder, okay? The Thunder with Jalen Williams, and they never even lost to the Thunder by less than 10 points.
I believe it was a 27-point average margin of defeat last year.
So that's not great.
No, it's not very good.
That's not great. From the 5-3-0, do we even know if Keon is a legit NBA player? And by legit, you know what I mean. Can he be a full-time player? You know, when you first read something like that, I think somebody might be driving in their car or listening and watching on YouTube and say, that sounds ridiculous. I actually don't know that it's as ridiculous as how the 5-3-0 is, it maybe sounds initially, because I think what the 5-3-0 is saying is, I guess it depends on your definition of legit NBA player. And that's why 5-3-0 says, you know what I mean. I guess it depends on what you do mean, a full-time NBA player. Look, Keon is an NBA player, so I don't want to spend time on that, but is Keon a guy that you need to have on the floor 25, 30 minutes a night? I don't know that he's that, and I don't know that he has to be that, which is why I've always said that I don't know why Keon has been untouchable on this team. I think he's just better served on a different team where he can just do his thing. And his thing is to play between 15 to 25 minutes a night, give you some defense, and shoot the 3 ball. Right now, you know, somebody, and I can't remember who it was, somebody said that this offense is not really conducive to Keon because they don't have Dennis Schroeder. To me right now, from what I've seen, he is not a paint touching point guard, right? Remember that word that we would hear all the time, spray, the spray threes? Dennis Schroeder, from what I've seen so far, he's there to organize it because it's a different roster, right? So Dennis Schroeder is there to make sure that guys get the ball in their spots. Besides Domantas Sabonis, because Domantas Sabonis is not getting the ball at all.
Well, Domantas Sabonis will give it up.
And Domantas Sabonis will give it up. But make sure DeMar DeRozan gets the ball in his spot. Make sure Zach LaVine gets the ball in his spot. But just get to the now Russell Westbrook can give you more paint touch and spray threes, but not Dennis Schroeder. And Russell Westbrook and Keon, I don't know how much of an overlap we've seen with their numbers, but Keon defensively, he can really only guard ones and smaller twos, and that's all fine. That's fine. But then offensively, he's not really finding a spot, right? Keon had, 6 points, and he got his first, if he doesn't get those first two off of the tip-off, he's probably sitting at 4, and he started, and he only played 18 minutes. I know he had some foul trouble, but somebody was saying to me, this offense is not conducive to what Keon is good at, and I think it's really true. Then defensively, I think Keon, we know what Keon is good at. Last night could have been an opportunity for Keon, but Austin Reaves is a dog, and Keon got in foul trouble. He's a grifter. That's what Austin Reaves does, and they had to try out other people on it. So my response to it is not that it's completely ridiculous. My response to it is what people think that Keon could be is not going to happen on this team. And I don't know that the idea, when it comes to this guy needs more minutes so he can just evolve into a butterfly. Keon has a lane. He can be a better version of that lane, but I don't think we need to sit here and give Keon 35 minutes a night in hopes. Not everybody is going to be a dude. And Keon, I think, understands that, and that's not a dig on Keon. That's who 80% of the league is.
Well, not only does Keon understand that, he literally told us that at Media Day.
He literally told us that.
Verbatim said, in the NBA, I don't think I'm ever going to be more than someone's third option.
Yeah.
Even though he, in college, he was averaging 20 points a game. So I think he is self-aware to that fact because even the best season of his career, he is a 8.3 point per game player who played 25 minutes per game last year, right? He is never going to be better than someone's fourth or fifth option, but he is that prototypical player that, when we talk about the three different phases of the shot clock, when it gets into butter situation, like our friend Jake LaRavia used to call it.
Butter situation.
He's good for just, hey, we're going to spray it and shoot it. Cardwell had one of those that he airballed, which I thought was hilarious, that he had a butter situation.
It was a grenade situation.
Yeah, but Keon's fine with those grenade situations. I mean, he's a 43% career three-point shooter. I mean, that's really elite at those three-point shots that we know he's getting a lot just on catch and shoot. So if he can keep shooting like that, then he's always going to have a role on offense on someone's team.
I know this dude is thicker than Keon, but it's Lou Dort to me. It is. They're both 6'4". Lou Dort just is probably as big as Tua Keon, but they're both 6'4". Okay, Lou Dort last season averaged 10 points a game. He took 5.8 threes. All right, played 71 games. He was fourth in Defensive Player of the Year. He was first team All Defense. He's only, that was 2 years ago. Oh, no. That was last year. So that was 24, 25. He was 25 years old. Why did I think Lou Dort was 30 years old?
Because he's been in the league forever.
The year before that, 10.9 points per game. At that point in time, he shot it at 39% from three. He took 5 threes a game. This season, 3 games, he's taking 5.3. This is the Keon model. He's averaged Lou Dort 1 year in 2022. This was before they popped off, right? They were starting to pop off. He averaged 17 points per game. Besides that, 14, 13, 10, 10. And, he's 10 points per game guy, averaged 12.2 in his career. That's the Keon model. That's a great model. But that's a great model on a Thunder. That's a great model on a Celtics. That's who it is. I don't know who's better. I think Derek White is better than Lou Dort, and maybe that's a ceiling for Keon, but I don't think Keon right now can play make like Derek White. So somewhere in between those guys, that's what Keon is, and that's dang good, especially coming from being undrafted. So I don't know let's just argue it like this. If that is the model, right, could Lou Dort or could Keon be this? And to answer the question from the 530, my answer is yes. Can Keon be this on the Kings? My answer is probably no.
So if we assume Keon Ellis is an NBA rotation player, which I think most of us would make that assumption. It doesn't even have to be a great team, just an NBA rotation player with this skill set of like, look, you're never going to be someone's first, second, or third option when you're on the floor, but you can be a fourth and fifth really well, right? I think of Aaron Nesmith with the Pacers playing that role perfectly, right? It then becomes about how good your defense is, right? Because I think there's a sliding scale essentially, and like on one end you have the Carusos and the Lou Dorts that are elite defenders on the perimeter that can also shoot the three at 40% clips. And then on the other end of the spectrum is guys who can shoot 40% from three, but they're Doug McDermott on defense, right? So now you just kind of have to ask yourself, where does Keon kind of slide into that scale, essentially? Because Caruso just got $20 million a year. Lou Dort is getting $20 million a year. Doug McDermott is on his way out of the league. Landry Shamet, who also shoots the three-pointer as well as Keon Ellis, he doesn't play defense, so he jumps from team to team every year, and they just need him for his shooting. So where does Keon kind of slide into that group, I think, is kind of where there's room for debate, because we've talked about this before. Keon is a very good defender, but there are things that Keon Ellis is a very specialized skill set on the defensive end of the floor. Great at getting into passing lanes, off-ball defense, guarding from the wing. But when you put him on point guards or you put him on, he's not a 1-4. He cannot guard 1 through 4.
No, and somebody on the chat is saying Lou Dort can do that, which is funny because Alex Caruso is more so the model of Keon's makeup, right? Alex Caruso, Basketball Reference, goes 6'5", 186. But we've seen Alex Caruso, and he is 31. He's guarded some big boys too. Now, Alex Caruso, he does not put up the points that Lou Dort does. Alex Caruso last season,
except in the finals where he randomly had 20-point games.
Last season, Alex Caruso, 7.1 points per game. He only took 3 threes. He shot it at 35%. But yeah, defensively, these guys are just dogs. And maybe Keon doesn't get to that level of either of these guys. But either way, Alex Caruso, funny enough, Lou Dort was playing heavy minutes. Alex Caruso only played 19 minutes a game last season, 19.3 minutes a game. When he was in Chicago, he was at 28 minutes per game. Lou Dort last season was at 29 minutes per game. So maybe it's somewhere in between the two. I don't know that I see Keon ever getting 29 minutes a game on a team.
Well, but again, Keon's not the same defender that Lou Dort and Alex Caruso are, right? That's why I feel like it's a sliding scale, right? If we're talking about like let's just say guys who can shoot 40% from three and are, mostly catch and shoot situations, right? There's a sliding scale where like one is Alex Caruso and Lou Dort, like they're the best of the best. And then 10 is Doug McDermott or Landry Shamet or guys that just traffic cones on defense, but can shoot really well. And there's going to be a value in that shooting, right? Where Keon falls in there is room for a really like interesting debate. I think we could go for hours talking about where Keon exactly falls within that sliding scale of guys that can shoot 40% from three, which is a super valuable skill set by itself, right? Doug McDermott has made a 12-year career in the NBA out of being able to shoot 40% mostly on catch and shoot threes. But Keon's defense is ultimately going to decide A, what his value is across the league, and B, whether he's going to be a rotation player for, again, he's in his 4th year in the league, if he's going to be a rotation player for a decade in the NBA.
Yeah, Keon, he's got to get stronger. he's got to get less handsy. That's just the reality. That's just what it is. 916 says, in typical Kings fashion, the fan base overinflated Keon Ellis' defensive abilities because he's surrounded by traffic cones because he puts tremendous effort on defense. His ability doesn't match his effort, though. I'll agree with 916 on some points, but not all. I will say that the fan base probably did overinflate Keon, but I'll also say that every fan base does that about their players. Every fan base does that. Every fan base does that. When you talk about any of these guys, he's our guy. Alvarado. It's the same thing with quarterbacks. That unless you get a bridge quarterback that nobody wants. But young quarterbacks, everybody got their guy. And if it's a good story, like Brock Purdy, then that's everybody's guy. Right? So
until you get the second contract and everyone hates you.
Right. I agree with you, 916, but that's not a Kings fans thing. That's everybody does that. Everybody right now has some young player or some good story that they are overinflating. Trust me. I'm trying to think of a name, but you know how many guys when the Warriors, those off years, you know how many guys were supposed to sub in and we're going to save the Warriors? Guys that aren't even in the league anymore. Why can't so-and-so get more time?
Amari Spellman.
Yeah, maybe not him. But why can't X player get more time? Right? It's the backup quarterback thing as well. So it's not just a Kings thing. I can tell you that much right now. As far as the effort, I would also disagree with you. Not that Keon doesn't give a ton of effort, because he does, but I would disagree with you that his ability is lacking in some way. Now, like I said, he's got to get stronger, but Keon does have a great knack for stealing the basketball. He's got great projectable, I guess, measurables, if you will, when it comes to defense. He's got long arms. He's got a good quick twitch, good lateral movement. So I think it's a combination of both. He just needs to get a little bit stronger. And I don't know if he's going to get strong enough to ever guard threes. That's my problem. My other problem is that there's some bigger twos that he struggles with. That's my problem.
Yeah, it's a very specialized skill set, and it is a valuable skill set. I mean, we talk about the deflections. We talk about him impacting shots. You know, he is a very, very good defender. I don't want to, undersell it, but, like
we said, it's not Lou Dort. It's not Caruso where it's just a lockdown. Then nobody is taught. He is a level below. You know, it's very similar to Keegan Murray. These young guys, right? And some of it is how much you can control and what you can't control. They are a tier below the other young guys that are digging in defensively, right? Jalen Suggs, when he's healthy and not hanging out with Haley Van Lith, is fine. But Toumani Camara, they're not being mentioned with the Toumani Camaras. They're not being mentioned with the Dyson Daniels. Young players that are dogs defensively. Keegan Murray and Keon are a level, at least one level below that, which still makes them the best. Now, separately, as I always joke, just because you're taller than first graders doesn't make you tall, which separately makes them the two best defenders on the Kings. So yes, we do have purple lenses on, but that's not our fault. Yeah, it's just what we're looking at.
The perception is distorted because you have no other great defenders.
When you're in a hot tub, and maybe they have one at the Kimpton Sawyer, and whoever wins that free night, November 7th. But when you're in a hot tub, and then you've been in the hot tub no more than 30 minutes, fellas. But when you're in a hot tub, same with the laptop on the lap, no more than 30 minutes. When you're in a hot tub, and then you jump in a pool, the pool might not be that cold, but it feels freezing because you've been in a hot tub. The change of temperature to your body is more aggressive. Us watching bad defense and then seeing Keon or Keegan defensively is probably living somewhere in between those guys being elite, the elite of the elite, and those guys just being better than the rest of what we're seeing. And that all comes out when these guys aren't getting. Didn't Keon get a vote for all defense?
I don't think so.
Okay, there no even votes for Keon or Keegan. That's all. And Keegan is somebody who had to guard the best player every single night. Now there are deeper stats that do give credence to Keon and Keegan defensively, but they're not in the same convos in the basketball world as the Toumani Kamaras and as the Dyson Daniels, which is okay. But it's just the reality.
So just to give some context to what we're saying here, I pulled up our favorite nerd website, B-Ball Index.
Nerds.
And they define defensive roles for players, and we agree Keon and Keegan are different skill sets defensively,
yes.
right? So they list Keon Ellis as a point of attack defender, which I don't, it's hard to sort that out exactly, but point of attack defender, and then they classify Keegan Murray as a wing stopper on defense. So of the point of attack defenders, here are the people who are at the top of that group last year in terms of defensive LeBron rating. You have Chris Dunn with the Clippers, who I think he's the archetype for what Keon Ellis's career is. Chris Dunn is going to be in the NBA for 10 years because he does exactly the things that Keon Ellis does at an elite level. You've got Chris Dunn, you've got Amon Thompson.
Because he can't shoot, by the way.
Yeah,
Chris Dunn is bad.
Chris Dunn, booty on offense.
Yes.
But amazing defender.
Fryer also.
Yes. But his was funny because they knew he was going to be a bad offensive player coming out of college.
He wasn't bad, though. Not like this. They didn't think it would regress.
No.
Go ahead, though. Go ahead.
Yes.
Continue.
But anyways, so Chris Dunn, Amon Thompson, Asar Thompson, which is hilarious that both of them are in the top of this group, Dyson Daniels, Matisse Thybulle, Cason Wallace, Keon Ellis. That is the group that is the elite, quote-unquote, point-of-attack defenders. They also have Haywood Highsmith, Anthony Black, Peyton Watson, other guys like that. But that's the group, right? Yeah. This is the archetype for what Keon Ellis's career is going to look like. Chris Dunn, Amon Thompson, Asar Thompson, Dyson Daniels, Matisse Thybulle, and Cason Wallace. And if I gave you those 6 players, 10 out of 10 people listening to this would say those are NBA players. Right? So it's not a question of whether Keon Ellis is a quote-unquote NBA rotation player, because he clearly is on the defensive side of the floor. It's just, I'm now going to their offensive ratings, and literally other than Chris Dunn, everyone else on this list has a better offensiv rating than Keon Ellis.
Yeah, I just got a chat from Jet and Jett. And Jet says, I text you saying Keon sucks and would not be a rotation piece on a playoff contending team, and you told me I was wrong. Yeah, Jet, you're still wrong. Like, you're still wrong to me. And with everything that I'm saying, you're still wrong. A rotational piece on a playoff team, you're wrong. Okay? Yeah, I agree to disagree.
You're saying he would not be? He's saying he would not be.
He's saying he would not be a rotational piece. I'm saying Keon would be.
Look.
That's the whole argument. Trying to sit here and Keon doesn't need 35 minutes. Keon doesn't need 30 minutes. We know what Keon is. Keon needs to be on a team where they can utilize him for that. Right now, they need playmakers. This team needs, the Kings need playmakers. The team needs all this other stuff, right? They need scoring at a certain level, a bunch of different things. So they don't feel like they need more than Keon. That's what it's always been. They need more than Keon, and they got energy issues. So you went and got Russell Westbrook. Keon would be the 8th, 9th guy on a solid playoff team, and he gets in, does his thing anywhere from 7 to 9, and he goes home. He brings his lunch pail every day, 7 to 9, and maybe he gets a stupid ring that has a ring within a ring, and it opens up, and it looks ridiculous on a finger.
Which, case in point, if I'm going through that same group of 6 guys along with Keon, who does Chris Dunn alternate minutes with on the Clippers?
With James Harden?
It's James Harden and now Bradley Beal, but it was James Harden. Cason Wallace, who has the ring inside the ring. Who does he alternate minutes with on the Thunder? Jalen Williams. These are all NBA caliber guards that these defensive players can then alternate with because they go offense-defense. When you need offense, which is most of the time, you go with Harden or Jalen Williams. And when you need defense, you alternate in with either Chris Dunn or Cason Wallace.
Yeah. So, that the Keon piece of this is interesting. It's going to get to a point where a lot of people are going to be upset. Some of it is probably going to be slightly overblown, But the other side of it is you decided, and I promise one day I'll get over it, you decided that you were going to try to get this somewhere with Keon. There were conversations with the Kuminga thing, and it ended up not happening. And now this guy he got 18. He started. He got 18 minutes last night. He got, 13 the game before then. I don't know, Kyle, I'm double-checking now how many he got against the Jazz, but the Jazz were huge. So, that part of it. And it's just not
17 minutes.
17 minutes. So he has not cracked 20 minutes yet.
13, 17, 18. To the point about the playoff rotation, right? If you dumped him, no trade involved, if you dumped him right now on the Orlando Magic and had him go offense, defense with Wagner, he would play on a playoff rotation. We all think the Magic are going to make the playoffs, right?
Yeah. Everybody thinks, I don't know why we do this thing where it's playoff rotation and everyone thinks the Thunder.
Yeah.
Like there's 18. I know Kings. I know you're not. I know the playoffs is sometimes you forget that 8 teams each get in, but 8 teams, let me explain this. 8 teams in the West and 8 teams in the East get in. They're not all the Thunder. And they're not all the Celtics with Jason Tatum.
Yeah, I think that is a good point. We're not saying a champion level rotation, but for example, I think he is just as good as Nickeil Alexander-Walker. If you put him on the Timberwolves right now and went offense, defense with Anthony Edwards, Keon Ellis would play 15 to 20 minutes on a team that probably would go to the Western Conference Finals. If you put him on the New York Knicks, well, I guess first of all, Mike Brown wouldn't play him because he'd put him in the doghouse.
An Eastern Conference doghouse. It's a colder doghouse than the Western Conference.
But if you put him on the Knicks, and in a world where Mike Brown actually believes what he said at Media Day and loves Keon Ellis, and it's proof that he's willing to play deep rotations.
Yeah.
If you put Keon Ellis on the Knicks and had him run offense, defense with Jalen Brunson, he would play 15 to 20 minutes on a Knicks team that we all think would go to the finals.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not just the Thunder already have their Keons. They got like 4 Keons. It's not just about the Thunder. When we return, let's keep the conversation going. Got a specific text I want to get to regarding Domantas Sabonis. And we got to talk about the Niners cashing a L. Big deal, little deal, no deal. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is, live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
Ready to pregame for your next big arena event? Head to Beach Hut Deli, a Sacramento tradition for over 40 years where aloha is served daily. Located just steps from the arena, whether it's game day or a concert night, it's the perfect spot to gather with friends and enjoy amazing sandwiches. Planning a bigger get-together? Beach Hut Deli offers endless catering options to bring those fresh, delicious flavors to your next party or event. Beach Hut Deli. Good vibes, great food, and epic times await.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Hi, this is Greg Papa. Disasters hit every day. If your home, business, or building has suffered from any disaster, SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to and letting your focus be on what's most important, your family or your business. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140.
on Sactown Sports.
This was from the 916. This is what I wanted to get to before we talk some Niners. Are they running any kind of offense? ? Why isn't Domas looking to score anymore? I'm confused about what they're doing offensively. I don't think I'm confused, 916. I think it's just they have two guys that shoot the basketball a lot. Zach LaVine's been playing well. We have to spend some time on DeMar DeRozan tomorrow because he hasn't been great and he's been getting his shots off. And I know that Jazz game, he didn't really shoot a lot and they won that game, but
they almost didn't.
But yeah, I'm with you, 916, and depending on when you joined us, we've spent some time on it. Domantas Sabonis offensively, I think he's trying to find his footing. And you got two guys that shoot the ball a lot. What's crazy is they're going to get Keegan back, and I don't know how Keegan's going to take 10 threes a game right now, but you have Dennis Schroeder, who's, I think, shooting maybe a little bit more than we thought he was going to. But, it hasn't been terrible. We're still trying to figure out where Domantas Sabonis fits as well. As far as the offense are running, I think it's just get it to Zach, get it to DeMar sometimes. And have you noticed, though, and it might be easier to see when you're in the building, not trying to flex, but just honestly, I'm not even going to lie to you, and I'm not trying to start anything. He has not made any faces or anything like that, but there have been at least 5 times within the last 2 games that I've watched in the building that Domas has asked for the ball and not gotten it. And I'm not doing a thing here. It's just the truth. He's come to the top of the block or he's popped up in the key and asked for the rock, and Dennis Schroeder or DeMar DeRozan or Russell Westbrook, whoever it is, they have not got him the ball. So maybe that's something to where that's a conversation where Doug says, hey, let's make sure we get the big man the ball. But that is something that I have noticed. I'm just seeing if I'm overstating this field goal thing. Oh, my goodness. 3 games, Kyle.
Okay.
3 games, okay? He took, in 2024, 2025, now he was on 3 different teams, but in 2024, 2025, Dennis Schroeder took 11 shots a game.
If you're on Basketball Reference, you can look by team.
Yep. Yes. But just for that year in total,
Sure.
It was 14 with the Nets when he was cooking, 10 with the Warriors when he was not great, and then 9 with the Pistons, which was maybe his best fit. Kyle, and before that, 12, he gets traded so much. I'm trying to keep up here. Okay, in 2024, 11.6 a game. 2023, 9.8. 2022, another traded year, 11.3. Kyle, 3 games. Want to take a guess how many shots Dennis Schroeder has taken?
I know
per game this season?
because we did the experiment earlier with the shots. I know he's taken 48 on the season. So if I divide it by 3,
you cheater.
That is 16.
15.7.
Yeah.
15.7.
He's taken Think about, let's phrase it this way. Dennis Schroeder has taken more shots per game on the Sacramento Kings than on the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah. Yep. Where he was the guy. He was the guy.
Him and Cam Thomas.
And Cam Johnson at that point. Him and the Cams.
No, Cam Johnson wasn't playing. He was hurt the whole time.
He's there. He was there. Spiritually, he made corner threes. 15.7. That, to me, is right there. That's got to be, brother, we need you at about 11, and those other possessions. Now, when you're cooking, you're cooking. But you got to get that rock to Domantas Sabonis.
Now, in fairness, Allen, Domantas Sabonis
didn't play first game.
Missed a game, so I'm sure that played a factor, and Dennis Schroeder's fewest shots were that first game. So he's taken more shots.
No, you ain't getting the rock. This is my time, bro.
Yeah, he took 13 against the Suns, 16 against the Jazz, and 18 against the Lakers.
Yeah, that's something that is, I didn't have that on my bingo card.
They're putting him and Westbrook together on the floor. What else is he supposed to do? They need shooting from somewhere if they're going to play him, Westbrook, and DeRozan all at the same, and Sabonis with his sort of fast trigger release.
Yeah, faster. Okay, well, there you have it. With the Kings, obviously the drive guys are going to refresh all of this for you at 2 o'clock. Did want to talk some Niners, and again, it is a sports equinox, so everything is rocking and rolling today. The conversation about the Niners and kind of a bit of a stinker that they put up, I didn't really have an issue. Obviously, you're not trying to lose games, but the Texans were due, man. That was so bad. And when you have that was the last doubleheader we'll ever see, at least for the immediate future. But they looked so bad against the Seahawks. I don't even know. They got to 19. I think they might have had a pick six and a fumble. I don't know. It was not the offense. C.J. Stroud did not look great. But that game against the Niners, and they still only put up 26. D'Amico Ryans has familiarity. That Texans defense is legit. They were at that point 2-4, kind of fighting for their lives. The Niners had outkicked their coverage, being 5-2. So if you're a Niner fan, I wouldn't be freaking out too much.
So it was a regression to the mean game. That's what you're saying?
That's all it was to me. I wouldn't be freaking out too much.
Scott Hansen had that crazy stat on the broadcast that the Texans held the ball for 24 minutes and 31 seconds in the first half, which there's 30 minutes in a first half, which was the most by any NFL team in any NFL game since 2009.
Yeah.
Like, the problem for the Niners was just they never had the ball.
No,
like,
they didn't have the ball.
Kyle Shanahan, who's obsessed with time. Why did I say it like that? Kyle Shanahan, who's obsessed with time of possession, lost the time of possession battle worse than any coach ever.
Yeah, and the other part is how quickly the Niners, how quickly their possessions were going. Again, I had a feeling, like I said, I didn't call it, so I'm not going to say I did, but the Texans, they knew what the Niners wanted to do. It looked so bad against the Seahawks. And on the scale of crazy NFL surprise losses, if you will, or surprise wins, Kyle, I don't even think this cracks the top 10. As far as crazy wins this season.
Oh, yeah. This
season, does not even crack the top 10.
No, because the Texans have, if you look at like the nerd stats, the Texans have like a top 2 defense in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, the problem is not the Texans' defense. That defense might carry them back into the playoff race. The problem is that they're throwing to
Higgins,
Hutchinson,
Higgins,
all the people you made fun of, and ones you didn't even know were on the team. Do you know Braxton Berrios is on the Texans?
Well, yes, he's another one. He's on 4 teams.
Yeah, Braxton. I thought he was on the Jets. Braxton Berrios.
No, he is though.
He's also on the Dolphins.
Yeah,
Braxton Berrios had like 4 catches in that game. So like even the receivers we don't think about had catches.
Yeah, I'm just now learning Woody Marks' real name.
Oh, I don't even know this.
It's Jaquavius. That's what it's on the actual stat line.
What's his middle name?
I don't know, Kyle. This doesn't have his middle name. So Woody Marks.
Now I want to know, why is he Woody?
Woody Marks went off. Nick Chubb is there. Okay, and coming back from that crazy injury. By the way, again, thinking our best thoughts for Cam Scatteraboo, who dislocated. They keep calling it dislocated ankles, but it looks way worse than that. My buddy, I saw it live. I'm not really the person that looks up stuff like that, but I was just watching the game. I was watching Red Zone, and I don't think Red Zone knew, or the broadcast obviously knew what they were showing, but I saw it, and I didn't want to see it, and then I went on my phone, and then my buddy sent it, and I didn't want to see it, and I saw it again. So prayers up for Cam Scattaboo, local guy. Everybody is rooting for him, and they were really rocking and rolling out there in New York. So just look, man, it's the nature of the beast when it comes to football in the NFL, but it doesn't make it any easier. So rough stuff there. But yeah, Kyle, your boys, the crew, man, and the seller. So we're starting something, and we're going to try to get the Sounders for our new band list. And I would never ban Dalton Schultz because he's helped me out so much. But on National Tight Ends Day, this brother almost got banned, okay? He almost got banned.
You should have done Dallas Goedert, 2 TDs.
Oh, my goodness. Xavier Hutchinson, 69 yards. Jalen Knoll, I don't know who's a rookie, who's not. I think they're all rookies. Woody Marks went off for 49 receiving yards. Braxton Berrios hit you for 38. Jaden Higgins hit you for 34. This is just a random game. That's my whole point. A random game for the Texans. Maybe they found some things out, and the Niners, they got to lick their wounds and continue to attempt to get healthy out of the stretch, Kyle. So look at it like this. Now you got to go to New York, and they hate playing Tyrone Tracy, and now they have no choice because Scattaboo's out. Now you get the Giants without Scattaboo. After that, you have your second game against the Rams, and then you get the Cardinals. Maybe Kyler will be back, but it's November, so probably not. And then you get the Panthers and the Browns. So, again, this is not a big deal to me for the Niners. The Raiders, they didn't lose because they didn't play. They had a bye, and they decide to pick up the one wide receiver in the NFL that has always made me laugh because he's very open about the fact that he hates getting tackled. Stanford's own Tyler Lockett has joined Geno Smith.
Get the squad back together.
To do absolutely nothing. Next time you're on a break, just Google Tyler Lockett avoiding tackles, and it'll be a 10-minute montage of Tyler Lockett just catching the ball and falling over. Kyle likes to call me a coward at times for some of the things I don't like to give strong takes on. I'm going to tell you this much. If I did play, I would be Tyler Lockett. I would just be falling down. Just touch me.
Yeah,
right? I'm going to fall down, just play tag.
Running out of bounds.
All I want to see is Tyler Lockett in a Raider jersey catch a ball and fall over.
So I have thoughts about the Raiders first. First of all, Jaquavius Daquan Woody Marks is his full name.
That's our guy.
Apparently he's Woody because he's obsessed with Toy Story as a kid.
Now that's a good one.
See, that's fine.
That's a good one.
He was obsessed with Toy Story, so he's snake in my boot, Woody.
That's right.
Anyways, back to the Raiders. You know how everyone was like surprised when Pete Carroll got fired in Seattle 2 years ago, and people were like, "What? What do you mean they're getting rid of Pete?" Are we watching right now with the Raiders what would have happened if they'd allowed Pete to stay? Like the slow, precipitous decline with all the guys he wanted to keep?
I don't even know, man.
The Raiders are just what the Seahawks would have been had they kept Pete.
I got to think about it because I don't know how surprised people were when they moved on from Pete.
I think people were shocked that they fired Pete when they did. Because he was, they thought he was going to get that job as long as he wanted.
Yeah, well, here comes Tyler Lockett again. Look up the montage. He's just falling over. And I would do I don't care. I would do the same thing.
Yeah, that was the most obvious, once you don't have the burning speed anymore, it's over for you.
Yeah, so he's coming. Look, no Hunter Renfrow, no. But we will take Tyler Lockett. Just get them both. Panthers, go get them.
Also, I was looking up the Giants because I was like, they got to have someone else other than Tracy. Apparently, Devin Singletary still hanging around.
Hey, there you go.
So he's the pass catcher now.
There you go.
Means Allen's going to be prop talking him all next week.
It's so bad. There's a Kings player that Schmallen wants to ban on the air, but will not ban on the air because Kyle told Schmallen, do not ban this player on the air. But someone last night should have got banned. Whitey Gleason's never banned from the Allen Stiles Show. He joins us with Kayla Anderson on the other side. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here. If you're in the market for a new car, let me tell you about my experience with Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the moment I walked into their state-of-the-art showroom, I knew I was making the right choice. There was no pressure from the sales staff, and if I'm being honest, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV, and let me tell you why. First of all, the comfort. After a long day at work, I actually look forward to being in my car. It has several different massage settings, including my favorite, hot relaxing back. Plus, the seat heating and cooling features are perfect for the hot summer or those chilly mornings. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5, or you can shop online anytime at mbfstockton.com. That's mbfstockton.com, and tell them Drape sent you.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I'm opening my own coffee shop.
I smell a caffeinated catastrophe.
And I needed menu boards and banners printed.
What you really needed was a reality check.
Staples really came through. They printed menus and signs, even flyers in time for my grand opening.
And that's where the other shoe dropped.
Not quite. I got $125 off my custom print order.
Cha-ching! For your business printing, Staples.
That was easy.
Now save up to $125 on custom print orders. Valid in-store and online. Ends 11/1. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, though, may I ask if there are any unlocked guns in your home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Born in 1892 to a socially prominent family, she was the consummate athlete, proficient in golf, tennis, marksmanship, swimming, and car racing. Many considered her the greatest horsewoman of the century. She was a pioneer in the field of golf course development with 3 world-class courses on her resume: the Women's National Golf and Tennis Club, Cypress Point, and Pasatiempo. Working for SFB Morse of Pebble Beach fame led to her second golf course development, which many consider to be the greatest golf course in the world, Cypress Point, where she developed a lifelong friendship and professional relationship with famed architect Alistair McKenzie. Pasatiempo in Santa Cruz was her third development, where she hosted the likes of Bobby Jones, Will Rogers, Babe Saharias, and more. Today, her place is alongside many others in the World Golf Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Marion Hollins, a visionary golf course architect and pioneer of the game. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Listen to the 49ers Red Zone Report daily, brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza, the official pizza of the 49ers. Mountain Mike's Pizza, pizza the way it ought to be.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Real quick, our guy Ramsey on the text line. Why did I think Tyler Lockett went to Stanford? Tyler Lockett went to Kansas State. Okay, I said Stanford, Stanford's finest. Yeah. Well, I know Sherman, that crew from Seattle, I know Sherman went to Stanford. I thought there was another wide receiver. You know what? It was Baldwin.
Oh, Doug Baldwin.
Doug Baldwin.
He's one of my faves.
That's who it was. So thank you, Ramsey. Another smaller-esque receiver.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, he went to Stanford. Thank you, Ramsey. Joined by Kayla Anderson and Whitey Gleason. How are both of you doing?
Well, I'll just say last night the Kings looked like they had a chance to win that game, and then it was gone, just like Allen Stiles last night. Allen Stiles was there, and then 1 minute, gone.
One minute he's here, 1 minute he's
Yes,
gone. I did hear.
I made a deal that I was going to be out of there at halftime.
I understand.
So I had to be out of there at halftime.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of glad I got out of there at halftime.
Yeah.
You know?
So I guess
Especially the fourth quarter. You weren't there for that.
No.
I guess that's why you walked in and thought Russell Westbrook had a great game.
No. I mean, I watched the game. I was listening to G-Man. I'm only about 10-ish minutes away from the arena. If you all must know everything about it, pulled up, watched the rest of the game, and yikes. Austin Reaves got to take out the whole Sacramento Kings team when he signs that $35-40 million a year contract.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps the most nauseating thing was, and I understand it, it's kind of cool in a way, but as soon as the game ended, his teammates just
my goodness,
crowded around him and jumped on him and celebrated.
They're like hoisting him. I'm just saying, they weren't doing that.
Literally,
but, I
though.
felt like
Mostly
they were.
Kayla.
Literally.
Right. They were like, LeBron and Luke aren't here, so you're the next one to have the crown.
Well, and everybody knew that it was going to be a Austin Reaves party besides the Kings, and they attempted to stop the party. Whitey, I've been saying time and time again that the blitzing that a lot of people got on Mike Brown for doing it too much, the blitzing, the doubling, probably needed to see that a little bit more last night.
They tried it at the end, and it
they
didn't
tried.
really work.
They tried,
Just
but
got to expose their deficiencies further.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it could have happened early on to throw him off a rhythm. Maybe it was impossible.
Yeah.
Just felt like with that many vets, and I know Doug, it's his first official year, but with that many vets, with Mike Woodson, with Bobby Jackson, with the crew they have, you could not put your heads together and stop Austin Reaves. That's just, I can't accept that. How about that? I cannot mentally accept that.
Kayla, you know how I knew Allen was leaving early last night?
Uh-oh.
When he's not leaving early, he's engaging everybody and talking to everybody and this, that.
Yeah.
Last night, first half, kind of quiet, Allen.
Yeah.
Kind of quiet,
Really?
Allen.
I'm just,
Because he doesn't want to draw attention to the fact that he's leaving. And by not engaging, he actually does draw attention.
But you didn't know what direction that game would go in, particularly in the first half. It was close the entire time. I mean, they had a 10-point lead at some point, but they came, Sacramento came back and got it tied at half. So it looked like it could go either way.
Yeah.
But then again, Reaves just continued to take off.
It was weird because it looked like when the Kings were down 6, like 121-14, so that's right towards the end of the game, it felt like they were down at least 12.
It did.
It did.
And I think because you when you can't get stops, it's tough to
right.
get somebody.
The thing is, though, to that point, Kayla, normally these games where it's always one person, like if we remember De'Aaron Fox, what did he score, 60-something around this time last year? They lost that game. And a lot of times, Aaron Gordon, that Warrior game last week, they lost. Yeah. Normally, when there's some aberration, it's because other players aren't doing enough. You lose that game.
True.
Leave it to the Kings to still lose that game. Because normally, those big numbers, the Devin Booker, Kyle's a Devin Booker guy, I believe that came in a loss as well.
70?
Yeah.
I think the difference is, I would guess, it's an interesting point. I hadn't really thought about this. When Aaron Gordon scores as many as he did,
or something.
clearly like, something's out of whack. Well, the Austin Reaves, you're Luka tonight.
Yeah.
They just gave him the Luka role, and he just did what Luka sometimes does.
Yeah, but even still, though, I feel like he could have scored, because even the Hachimuras and there's the free throws that come into play, there was still enough help, because normally that 55 or whatever, 51 wouldn't have been enough. They still played pretty well outside of it, which is crazy because their lineup, Vanderbilt doesn't shoot. Gabe Vincent, I think, weirdly got injured towards the end.
Yeah.
And Jake LaRavia he played pretty well. I think he had 11.
At one point, the Lakers were 11 of 14 from the floor.
Yeah.
I remember looking at it going, that's good for a quarterback.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly. In another sport.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure you're going to get all into what the Kings have done. Not just that game, but the Jazz game where you needed a putback from Sabonis to win that one.
But they did win. You're oddly down on the Kings for the way they played Friday.
It's
Mr.
almost like we
Instigator.
forgot about that game, Ellen.
They almost lost that game.
But
look,
they won, Kyle.
Exactly.
They did win. And like I said, no. I gave them credit. The Jazz don't know they're bad yet. Zach LaVine said they couldn't see. They felt like Tua behind the line.
I bet.
He said, I can't see.
I bet.
I couldn't see. I could not see. So I give them the.
Or Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, I couldn't see. So we give them the kudos.
Okay.
But you've had 3 games you were favored in. You're 1-2.
Okay.
That's it.
And I get the part where you have to take advantage of those situations. And they did it. Especially when you have LeBron and Luke out.
Yeah.
So
It's
that's
tough
just.
when Every game's like a box of chocolates when you can't guard people. That's what we saw again last night.
Yeah.
120 points. This team probably has to score like 125.
Yeah. No, that's going to be it. And, Whitey is okay with Domantas Sabonis becoming the fourth option. That's what you told me off air. So
if I'm going to score 120 to 125, I am.
You don't care that he has an ascending contract?
No,
you don't care that you're paying $40 million for a board man?
No, I don't. Yeah. I mean, he's a really good rebounder, and he can score when they need him to.
Oh.
With the scores they have on that roster, if he needs to get his, all of a sudden it's like, all right, somebody ain't getting fed.
Okay.
Allen thinks he's Clint Capella over here.
He is. That's what Whitey wants to turn. No, thank you for that. Whitey wants to turn Domantas Sabonis into $48 million Clint Capella.
I don't care. I don't think you can base your strategy on what guys are getting paid or your cross purposes.
I think it
The
matters.
team's best if we do this. Yeah, but that guy's getting this much money. Oh, okay. He better get more shots.
I think it matters. I think it matters.
I just don't think we can draw that conclusion quite yet, Allen.
Okay.
3 games.
Well, look, 3 games in. The Niners, another L. To me, I'm.
Don't say it.
What?
Texans were due.
They were due.
Do you know all 3 of those wide receivers that led the way are all Iowa State guys?
That's crazy.
That's all they do is draft Iowa State wide receivers now.
Pipeline.
Really?
Yeah,
Hey.
they're like, we're down all our other ones, so we'll just start all these guys.
We got 3 pipelines. We got Texans, Iowa State. We got the Kings and the Bulls. Okay. And we got the Giants and University of Tennessee. It's just three pipelines. And my favorite, it's got to be the Bulls one. So Matas Buzelis, make your way on over. I'm telling you, Whitey.
King's going to see him Wednesday, Allen, as
Bulls
you know.
are coming up.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. And it's
Allen's
look,
secretly rooting for him to go off.
No, I'm not. I did like him,
given up
though.
on your draft crush from a couple years ago?
Which one?
You know who.
He's
Tejon?
Yeah.
I saw him on a bench cheering. He looked happy. Look, I care about being happy. I just want them to be happy. Okay. And the Hornets, they might mess around. And they might mess around.
How's your other guy, Spencer Rattler, doing?
Ooh, they benched him.
No. But
Allen.
No.
Say he made it longer than we thought.
No. They did. Benching is a weird.
Come on,
It
bro.
wasn't a full-blown bench. It was more of we've seen enough. They wanted to preserve him.
But he is your guy, right?
Yeah, he's my guy.
But they're also going to start Shuck next week.
Tyler Shuck.
Yeah, because why put your franchise guy out there in harm's way when you're not ready to go? Spencer Rattler, to me, has proved, we know now, without a shadow of a doubt, that this is an NFL quarterback. And I'll tell you this, I'll take him on the Raiders right now over Geno.
Franchise guy.
Franchise him in the black and silver.
Better call Pete.
If it makes you feel better, Shuck had one of the worst throws I've ever seen.
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah, I'm not saying he's good.
It'll all come back to my guy, Radley. Well, but it'll all come back to my guys, Whitey. Okay, they're going to figure it out.
Okay.
It just takes a little bit of time. Okay, and we're going to have new guys if the Kings keep doing
Boozer.
this. That's what I'm saying.
That's your boy.
The good one.
Or the good one.
Not the twin.
Yeah, the good one.
The good one. So there are a lot of different ways to go.
I got to keep my eyes and my mind open.
All right. Whitey Gleason, Kayla Anderson, taking you up to, I don't know.
Monday Night Football.
Yeah, I was going to say Monday Night Football. No prop talk today because with Mariota, I don't know. And the Chiefs got
Chiefs
too many.
receivers, Juju Smith-Schuster.
They got too many receivers.
Terry McLaurin's
Washington's
back.
defenders
Terry's
stink. Take
back.
them all.
Oh, my goodness. All right, a quick one. You know what? Primetime game, Travis Kelce. Oh, I can hear him now. Well, they missed National Tight End Day, but that doesn't mean that Travis Kelce isn't going to score.
That's exactly
All
what
right,
they'll
they're
do.
coming right up. They're taking you to Monday Night Football. Thanks to all the callers, texters, sack chatters. Thanks to Kyle Letterman. A great job as always. Until tomorrow, let's get the bet. Let it be.
Don't forget my podcast. Gotta go.
The holidays are here, full of joy, family, friends,